bad bitch all my goals. Flooded both my wrists, yeah, nigga, I do the most. Put some bread on your head, nigga, killers gon' have a toast. I be doing the most, yeah, I be doing the most.
Hey, what's going on? This is D-Most from Doing D-Most Podcast, and I have a special guest with me.
Hey guys, my name's Art.
We have Art in the building. Listen, Art is a smart guy. The conversations we have, I'm like, God damn, this is mind-blowing. Sometimes it's good to, that iron sharpens iron, sword sharpens sword. So when I be having convos with him, I'm like, nigga, you got to pull up on me. And yes, I call him a nigga, and he's nowhere near a nigga. And he never says it back. So this episode, I'm joking. We're not going to have him say it. Welcome to the show. Art, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name's Art. Originally from Russia, in my mid-30s, and this guy's not the first one to call me the N-word almost exclusively. I got a friend that I lived with for a couple of years. We were housemates.
Yeah.
He has not used my name in about 15 years. Everywhere I go, no matter who's anywhere, right, he just keeps calling me the N-word, right? And yeah. I learned better than to respond at this point, right? Like maybe when we were at the house, like 15 years ago, that was different, right? If it's just two of us together, right? Okay, fine. But out in public, oh no, people start looking different,
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I have a white boy. He says nigga, I'd be looking like, he'd be like, especially he would say around black people. I remember one time he told me it was him and his best friend, and they went to go pick up some tires and some rims and shit like that. And it was like, yo, we about to go to Patterson, and these niggas don't play. These niggas is killers. They got guns and all that shit. The dude was like, don't say nigga around them. He was like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I was like, so they go pick up the shit, and then the dude try to hustle them for the tires. He's like, yo, nigga, you ain't gonna hustle me for this shits, bro. You said 500, and now on the phone you told me 500, but when you get up here, you talking about 1,000. He's like, nigga, I bought what you wanted. I got the 5, and that's it. All the niggas started looking at that white boy like, do we gotta kill this nigga? And then the homie that was about to sell him the shit, he's like, I fuck with you, bro. Yeah, you good. I'm selling it to you for 5. He's like, nigga, you want something? He's like, hell yeah, nigga, I'll drink some and I'll smoke. I was like, God.
At least it worked out despite his lack of self-preservation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank God it worked out, because it could have been a fucking messy mess if it was somewhere like in the South or some shit, but, could have got messy, but that is that, thank God. But yeah, see, I remember one time I think it was Chris Rock and another comedian, and Seinfeld was there. And the comedian that was a white guy, I forgot his name, but y'all could probably Google it. It's Googleable. And he was like, him and Chris Rock were so cool with each other, like Chris Rock would have him call him a nigga. And the guy was like, Seinfeld, why don't you call him nigga? Seinfeld's like, nope, not gonna do it. He said, I'm Jewish. I ain't gonna call these black people niggas. Other white boy was just saying nigga. And Chris Rock was like, fuck it. I was like, so that line of like allowing you don't do it. You don't call black people niggas. How can I say it? Do you look at like other white people saying like, yeah, I shouldn't call black people niggas even if they allow you to say it? Do you feel that way?
Would be a little hypocritical, right? Because I already admitted that me and my boy, we will exchange it when it's like in private. When he calls me that, I'll call him that back, right?
Oh, okay.
So I can't really say that, but there's a time and place. There's like settings, right? What I mean? Me being comfortable with someone and us saying it back to each other, especially him calling me that for 15 years, it'd be kind of awkward if I couldn't say it back, right?
Yeah.
But in other situations, you don't just come into every situation thinking that that's something that's allowed. That's something that. There's a reason why people don't say it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you never know what the outcome is going to be, and no matter what, it's going to make someone uncomfortable. Let me tell you about the situation that happened in Brooklyn again, right? I was telling D-Most about how I used to help set up parties at Brooklyn. I was like a low-level production assistant. I wasn't some big honcho. I was literally just carrying speakers and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we spent 8 hours there tripping on acid, setting up the party, right? And then the party's finally started. All of our friends start showing up. There's this nice little Korean girl. She was probably like 22, 23, right? Just finished medical school or something like that, right? Wow. Going to these parties. And so me and my friends were outside, and, my boy, his name's Bubba. He's like saying, and this and that and this
Yeah.
art my end, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, Bubba, could you please stop saying that? And he gave her this look. I swear to God, it was the most like, yo, who the fuck is this bitch look? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he starts off on it. He says every other word was, and I'll say and as much as I want my and this my and art, this my and this my and that. So my and you need to shut the and up. You're like,
Wow.
and then she looked like she was on the verge of tears because it was making her so uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, Bubba, take it easy. And I'm like, and he's like, yo, now you too. You telling me when I can say and or not? And I'm like, no. Don't get it twisted, all right? But
Yeah.
there's no need to break her heart. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's not about this life, so.
Yeah. Wow. No, you know what? Bubba went a little bit overboard, but I get it, Sometimes I remember Ice Cube said some shit like that. He's like, yo, I would never go up to someone and tell them, hey, you can't curse around my kid. Reason why he says that, because let's say if they're just walking down the street and someone's cursing, well, are you going to stop everybody from cursing? It's like you got to just tell your kids, hey, these people might say these things, but these are bad words and stuff like that. When you get older, you will understand and stuff like that. But you explain to a person like, hey, this is someone, and if you feel uncomfortable, you move away. That's how I always see it, especially when it comes to all this Diddy stuff and stuff like that. But I have a funny story how there was this one chick, right? So I'm at this house party in Woodbridge, and I'm chilling. My people brought me over there. It was a nice little kickback, probably like 20 people. It was probably, let's say, 3 niggas. I was the third nigga. The person that brought me was a shorty, and me, and there was one other black person. So, mind you, everybody else is white. Everybody's cool and stuff like that. We're drinking, smoking, having a good time. So the person that owned the house had the little sister come around. Little sister probably was like 17, 18. Like, she was young. So everybody's chilling and vibing. No one's really like, oh, there's a black person here. No. But this little girl had to be that one.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're partying, we're chilling. Let's say a Migos song comes on, and they be like, nigga.
Uh-huh.
So as the song's going on, sometimes you might hear certain songs might come on. They like when the word nigga comes up, the white people won't say nothing. But this girl had to do the most. So let's say when they came to say the nigga part, she looked at us. So she like, nigga.
Oh no.
Nigga. And then after the first 3 niggas, they started looking at her, and she just kept going throughout the song. At a point, nigga, she was saying nigga louder than the music was. Bro, when I mean her brother and them snatched her up and like, what are you doing? It's like, what the fuck? I'm just saying nigga, it's part of the fucking song. She's like, yeah, but why are you saying it in the face? Nigga, get out my face. I was like, oh, they ain't stopping this bitch. She just want a reaction. She's not gonna get it from me. Like, I'm not gonna go over there and pip slap the shit out of her. Like, no. You feel me? If she's saying nigga and she want to say it in our face and shit like that, not like super close in our face, but let's say there's a pool table in front of us. Like, she's putting her hands over the pool table to say it. That's how she was doing it. I was like, I didn't feel awkward. I was just like, damn, this is just stupidity. But
as you said, getting a reaction, right? I feel like this is definitely a controversial topic, but I feel like a lot of women, because of the fact that they have never been smacked before, they don't know that they could get smacked, right? So they keep pushing that envelope a little bit more every day, right? Mm-hmm. After several years of not getting smacked, that's how you end up with this performance right here, right? Yeah. So coming up to yelling racial epithets at people, using the song as disguise for it, right?
Yeah, no, especially like even when other people go to different countries, like when in this country, females yell at a guy. Sometimes dudes will turn the other cheek and just walk away. Mm-hmm. There'll be chicks that go to Dubai, yell in the dude's face. First they're doing is smacking the hell out of her, or they're getting arrested.
Yep.
Because every country has different rules. So there's other chicks like, if you touch someone, you feel me, you're going to jail. Over there, I think one chick touched a police officer, just brushed her a little bit. Oh, they threw that bitch in jail. Mm-hmm. But in this country, you could touch a police officer if you're a female, but unless you're doing something very aggressive, they had to still probably detain you. But over there, they don't fuck around. I remember my boy, one of his friends, went out to her own country. She had her whole ass out, titties out, bathing suit and all that. Man, a dude seen that day in the club, they chilling, smoking, drinking. You know how clubs are. He seen her whole ass cheek out. He went up and grabbed it. She turned around, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, yo, bitch, you got it out. I'm not just seeing what's up. So she got in his face and duffed him, like mushed him. He said, what? He got so mad, he started just punching, wilding on her. She fell on the floor, and then it was like, continued. And then eventually they had to stop it. I was like, yo, yeah, this, like, that mindset you have over here does not travel. You got to learn different rules and territories that you're in. Whatever you know over here, change your mind, nigga. Respect where you at, bro, because sheesh.
Absolutely. I mean, I was recently working with a student. So I work as an academic consultant. I help students apply to universities and stuff, right? So a lot of my students are from Korea, China, Japan, and a lot of the essays they write about is about how this student started in Korea. He was raised in a very Confucian household. You know, it's all about harmony and balance and maintenance.
Oh, wow.
And so for like the first 15, 16 years of his life, you know, like he was struggling with the fact that he's gay. They didn't even understand what being gay is because it's such a conservative society where, you know, no one's allowed to stand out, you know, like any nail that stands out gets hammered down type thing, right? Tells his parents, thought that they were going to be mad at him. Instead, they were just like quietly disappointed that he's not fitting in the mold, right? They send him to China, so he does study abroad there, right? He says the completely different world, right? You know, everything, even though, you know, would think that, you know, Korea, China, they're both East Asian countries, right? Similar roots, right? Similar Confucian principles, harmony again, right? Collectivism.
Yeah.
He said it was completely different simply because of the way that the state is, right? You know, like the fact that everyone has a social credit score. Some people, you know, basically don't have any rights whatsoever because they fucked up so many times, right?
Sheesh.
Then he comes here to America and he's like, wow, this is the promised land. You know, like he given the experiences that he's had in those two other countries where he had to repress his sexuality, repress his heritage and nationality. We are super tolerant, all things considered. You know, like we complain about racism here. We complain about, I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But in other countries, it's so much worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, my boy, he used to live in Germany because his brother was stationed out there. He said, nigga, the racism, totally different. Like, you think it's crazy how black people, like back in those days when black people used to go to Clark, nigga, you getting pulled over so easily. I think now they made a report recently. Yeah, there was a police officer that used to pull black people over and they just kicked them off the squad recently. I was like, nigga, that been happening for over 30 years. Now y'all want to arrest this motherfucker or kick him off the board? But, you know, over there, they were for sure racially profiling you on 10 times more. Like, and it was sad, but, you know, he said it's not everywhere. It's just certain areas, especially where, you know, the capital is and where all the money's at.
Yep.
But other places, they was like, you're just a regular person. As long as you don't do nothing stupid, you're fine.
Yep. Can we talk about that, by the way? How they pick one bad apple, supposedly, right? You know, it's not like it was the whole culture, right?
Yeah.
I refuse to believe it was one dude responsible for all the racial profiling that happened in that station. I'm sure that it got passed down, passed around. Everyone saw that it was okay. They gave into their little biases too, right? But in order to placate the public, they can't just fire the whole police force. They pick one dude. Like, all right, it's time for you to take your fall. Probably give him like a parachute of some sort, right? You know, and he probably still collects government bennies through his retirement or something like that. You know what I mean? So. Sure. At that point, like, what did you really achieve? All right, you got -1 asshole, but you did nothing to fix the actual culture and the actual problem, right?
Facts. And that shit, it sucks too. You know what I mean? I have so many police officers that are like family members and like cool friends. And honestly, you know, knowing them and the way how I believe the system has changed to me, you feel me? Because back in those days, man, I remember one time, this was after school, we had a half a day. It was a gloomy day like this, cloudy, gloomy. And it was like 12:30 in the afternoon. So it was like 12 of us. We was playing basketball behind the school. Like our school was in high school and he had the thing called the pond. And we're just playing basketball, you know? So then as we're playing basketball, we look to the left of us, we see a cop car driving from the grass, from the street to the grass onto the court.
Oh, shit.
So we look like, what the fuck is going on? We're scared. We're like 16 years old. We're like, what the fuck going on? Like, we looking like, who the fuck did something? The cop comes out the car. I already knew the cop because I knew his wife. I knew his 2 sons. I went to school with his older son, and his younger son was just younger, and his younger son used to come around. So I know the whole family. So when he came out the car, I said, this motherfucker. So I looked at him. We all looked at him. He was like, "What's going on, officer?" He said, "What are you guys doing here?" We was like, "Oh, we just had a half a day and we didn't want to go home. We just wanted to play basketball at the public park." Yeah, none of you guys are from around here. He was like, "No, but it's a public park and we just left school and we're just playing basketball." He said, "All right, well, how about this? If you guys don't get out of here, I'm gonna arrest you all."
Fuck.
He was like, "For what?"
Minors
Yeah.
playing basketball.
Minors playing
during
basketball.
the day.
During the day.
Not at night, nothing.
Not at night. Lights are still, there's no lights on because
Yeah.
it's 12 p.m. He's like, "If you guys don't get out of here, I'm going to arrest you." He's like, "But we're not doing nothing wrong." "Oh, so you guys want to get arrested right now then? I'm going to call back up before we can arrest y'all all and have y'all all have your parents pick you up later." We said, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah.
So we just walked off. And, you know, I mean, when I seen his wife, when we came back from vacation, she shook her head like, "I know. That's Billy Bob."
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. So, but guaranteed that was like, what, 06? And I think shit has changed. But then sometimes when you look at the news, you still see cops killing niggas and all that. I'm like,
Yeah, the advent of body cameras, they said it's the biggest transformation to the police force in decades, right? So that's a good thing, I think, in many ways, right? But what I want to point out about that incident that you described, right? There's not going to be any record of that, right? There's no one's filing a formal complaint, no nothing, right?
Nothing.
So that could be happening 100 times a day, and most people wouldn't know that, right?
Yeah.
All they know, like especially the people in that neighborhood, is like, oh, we have a nice, quiet, white neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he was doing it. When he said you guys aren't from around here, it's because probably all the surrounding houses had white people, right? And he wants to keep the area white. That's it.
And trust me, that shit it sucked because it was like, yo, bro, we're just like we're not doing nothing wrong, but we seen that at a young age, like shit like that happens, and we just had to understand. Listen, certain things it's above our tax bracket, and that shit was just a sad day. We went home and still had fun. We went to our park, St. Mark's and balled, but it wasn't as fun because now we had to walk fucking 40 minutes. You know what I mean? So. But, you know, shit like that happens. You know, shouts out to his son, Ryan. That's still my guy. Ryan's a firefighter now. I don't know what the younger brother's doing, but nigga, every time I talk about, you know, to Ryan about his father, he's like, this guy. And I think his father recently died. I don't know, but yeah, so.
I do think it's on average getting better over time, despite the fact that there's increasing polarization in politics nowadays, right? It seems like 20 years, 30 years ago, there was a lot more in common between the two sides. Now they're both shifting more and more to opposite sides. But overall, as a culture, maybe it's different in the South. I haven't been there in a while, right? Maybe it's getting worse down there and better up here. But up here, it definitely has gotten better. I remember what Linden was like about 20 years ago. It was not nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rahway, too. Rahway's had a major glow up, right?
Yeah.
I have a question for you though. So, which type of corruption would you prefer? The type of corruption that you just explained here, where there is stuff happening without it being noticed, right? But it's it's an oppressive social environment, right?
Okay.
But specifically against certain people, obviously, right? Now in Russia, everyone gets the sauce, right? You get pulled over for a broken taillight. This happened to me, right? I get pulled over for a broken taillight. My taillight's not broken, right? So I roll down the window. He's like, "Yo, your taillight's broken." I'm like, "It's not." He's like, "It will be by the time we get back to the police station." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Now I understand. My dad taught me about this. So I pull out the $20 worth of money out of my wallet, give it to him, and he's like, "All right, be on your day."
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So like, I feel like we can talk about how fucked up Russia is, but like that system, it hits everybody, right? If everyone's getting equally oppressed, right?
Yeah.
Like at that point, you just carry 20s in your pocket so you can get away with shit like small shit, right? Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that's what happens to Africa, Haiti. They like Michael Blackson said it. He was like, yo, he was driving, and he has like a Mercedes Benz, but he's being chauffeured. He said cops stopped him, guns drawn and everything. The driver's like, yo, just give him $100. He said, that's all? He said, yeah. He gave him $200. And so you're good now. You're good. You don't worry about it. We're not gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like I rather that system because because that's pretty much what the rich people do anyways.
Yep.
You see the Epstein list, they got money, they get to hush it. And I don't know about this whole Donald Trump thing, but his name magically is very, very shiny in these Epstein lists. You know what I mean? So if you have money, you could get things swept under the rug.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I'd rather that one. Everybody, equally got to pay their fee. Like, no, fuck, I don't give a fuck. Here's $20. It's that I'm throwing on a stripper, on liquor,
Yeah.
or sneakers.
Getting a permanent record, going to court, paying court costs. You know,
yeah. Fuck that. Here's $20. Keep it moving.
Straight up.
You know how much money I could have saved because I got tents on my car, man. You know, I had tents on my car. Only people that gave me a ticket were black people, black officers. The white officers, like, yeah, you're good. Go ahead. Black officers, one officer gave me like 5 tickets.
Oof.
5.
Like one for each window or something.
Yeah. Said vision not clear. He gave me like a ticket for like each window type shit. But when I went to court, yeah, guess what? Jewish lawyers. Drop. Nah, I'm lying. I don't got no Jewish lawyer. I just know the system a little bit. And then the second one, oh, bro, I was so fucking mad. There was a dude with a new ass car. Like his car was like that year. Mine's is older. His tents was 5% everywhere. Cause when I seen him, I was like, yo, I can't even see inside your car. Cause I have my high beams on. I'm like, I can't even see in the nigga car. And when he turned, I was like, I can't even still seeing it. At least my front glass is 25, so you could see it. I think it's 35 or 25. You could see inside my front. Yo, the cop pulled that nigga over. I was like, he pulled me over. I was like, officer, why don't you go pull him over? Huh? I was like, you seen the guy that had the 5% in front of me. Why don't you go pull him over? Yeah, we're not worried about him. We're worried about you. And I gave him my PBA card. He was like, I'll take this from you next time. I said, gave me a ticket. I was like, this bitch ass nigga. But
I've heard about this, how some African American people feel that African American cops are harsher on them because those African American cops feel like they have to like set the standard, like, oh, we're one of the white people, one of the good people now.
Yeah.
And we have to oppress the people who we believe are not behaving that way.
Yeah. I don't want to say that is true, but I understand it. There's another thing too. I learned that in just psychology. They said it don't matter what your skin is. If you hang out with the person enough, you become that person. So that goes back to what you're saying. There's some folks that feel like, well, I'm a police officer. I want to be part of the boys club. I got to treat you guys bad.
Yeah.
Or if not, if I keep letting you guys go, they're going to look at me like, oh, he's a nigger lover or some shit like that. So he has to do what he has to do, and it sucks. But fuck it, you know. Hey, try to follow the rules, I guess. I wish I could just give him $20 and keep it moving, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could just give him $20, but nope, that's not how it goes. So, you know. But yeah, that's I always tell people. There's always a bad apple. There's always that one bad apple, and don't just go and judge everybody like, oh, fuck all the police officers. Like when I was younger, probably I felt that way, but now I have relatives and friends there. It's like, just fuck the certain ones. Fuck them.
Yeah, but when it's such a prevalent problem, though, you have to feel that the good ones have the responsibility to do something about it, right? What's the saying? The only thing that is necessary for evil to win is for good men to do nothing. So I think that there has to be some sort of internal responsibility. If they feel that they're in lower in number and therefore have less influence, that means that it's not just one bad apple; it's mostly bad apples, and the good ones are the exceptions, right? Because you would think that if it's a system that is mostly good, they would self-correct.
Yeah.
If it's mostly bad, then the good people have to stay quiet unless they stand out. So maybe, you know, I respect the fact that you have cop friends, right? But you heard about what happened at the bar the other day?
Shit, inform me.
All right, so they were having a bingo night, right?
Okay.
A large group of people comes in. One of them is a close friend of the bar, brother of the bartender, and he brought a bunch of people with him from his bar, right? And one of the bartenders, she was cooking empanadas, and this lady who, you know, is part of this big group, you know, the brother of the bartender type thing, right? So, like, you would think that they would respect the place, right? She comes up, she takes an empanada from one of the things that bartender was cooking, right? Just straight up takes it.
Wow.
And the bartender turns around and is like, yo, can I help you? Are you hungry? And she's like, no, I just want one. What, do you want it back? I was like, nah, you keep that. That's you. Guess who she was? She was a cop.
Oh, shit.
So imagine you're going to a place where you're basically like your friend's family establishment, right?
Yeah.
And you're stealing shit and you're a cop. That's the kind of entitlement. Like I have to just imagine what she's like on the job.
Yeah.
If she feels so entitled to shit coming in here and taking shit.
Yeah. That fucking sucks.
Or how about our mayor? Apparently he went to all the bars after his inauguration didn't leave a tip anywhere. He stopped at every bar in town and didn't leave a tip anywhere. Him and his whole entourage.
Damn, and that entourage is big because I know his family.
Yeah,
that's fucking super fucking rude and disrespectful.
Exactly.
Because like Dennis, not Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen.
Goat.
Sometimes he was like, he wouldn't tip, but reason why someone asked him, why don't you tip? He said, if it wasn't for me, Michael, and the Chicago Bulls bringing in millions of dollars to the business, I'm talking about to the arena, and that's people coming from out of state to come to your city, and now they're shopping with you guys. Why do I need a tip? If it wasn't for me and my people, y'all wouldn't have made none of this money. This building wouldn't even be built. So he said, I don't need a tip. I was like, that's a good reason. Now the mayor doing that,
he's supposed to serve the people. He's a political official, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't let Scottie Pippen scot-free off, like, because like, just because there's more people coming in doesn't mean you're making significantly more money. If you're a waitress, you're still making that $2.13 or whatever. Tips
True.
are the majority of your income anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, and especially if you got it like that, I'm not saying you have to drop hundreds on everything, but like at least do like the regular 20%. You know what I mean? Like, be a decent human being. Yes, the system sucks. Yes, we should get rid of tipping, but people shouldn't have to starve because of that.
Yeah, that sucks. I know a person that it's happened quite a few times recently. Like there was one time Shaquille O'Neal talked about it. He was like, him and his homeboys, they just came from out to eat and everybody paid their own tabs. He said one of his homeboys ran off and the tab was like $600. So Shaq comes in like a week later and the lady goes out to him like, yo, your friend that was here with you, he ran off in $600 and I had to pay for it. Shaq being a Pisces, he went in his pocket, pulled out $1,000 to say, yo, I'm sorry for him. His $600 for him, his $400. Try to forget it and not think we're all like him. She started crying like, oh my God, Shaq, that was so amazing, this, that, and that. He's like, no problem, just, you're good. So, you know, there's some people that balances out. Like, I remember, like, me, I tip everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Like, me, I go to the gas station and get, like, the people pump my gas. I just found out New Jersey is the last state that allows people to pump your gas. So, hell yeah, I'm appreciative. Nigga, every time a nigga pump my gas, the minimum, if I have something, like $2 to like $5 or even, depends how I feel, I'll be giving 20 sometimes. I'm like, yo, bro, I appreciate you. It's 2 degrees outside and you helping me out. So I'm like, here. Man, so, you know, there was a time I was at the buffet with me and my brother. Some dude had like 6 plates by himself, like 8 cups just by himself. This nigga got up, happy as hell. He was like, yo, he pulled out a wad of cash. He just left $1 and left. And he felt like he was the king. He's like, I gave them freedom. Me and my brother was like, we got to now counterbalance that. Nigga, when we left, our food was probably, let's say, like $36, $40. Nigga, we left like a $15, $20 tip. Because it's like we had to tip for us and then him.
Okay, well, question for you then. Did you stop hanging out with this person as a result of that?
Oh, that person?
The one who ordered 6 plates, left $1.
Oh no, we didn't know that nigga.
Oh, okay.
We just saw him. We just saw him. Nah.
I was about to say, because like for me, that's kind of like a deal breaker. Like if you're in a group of people, like that Shaq story you were talking about earlier, right? If one of my peoples did that, I'm like, well, I don't fuck with you no more. You know what I mean? Because like, why would I take you out to embarrass all of us like that? First of all, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Second of all, to think so lowly of a person that they put in their time, effort, right? Like it would be one thing if the waitress was in there calling him a bitch and like, you know, not giving him food, right? Okay, I get that, right? But if they provide good service and you know what position they're in, you know you made the choice to go out. You know that tipping is a thing.
Yeah.
How are you going to be that much of an asshole, right? Like what are you doing behind my back that I don't know about? So if you're being that upfront and honest about how much of a dick you are, I kind of don't want to fuck with you no more.
Oh, no, yeah, I for sure get that. Like, nah, like some of my people, them niggas be cheap as hell when it comes to tips. But I to me, I'm like, fuck it, I'll do that. Cause you know, I never worked as like a busboy or whatever like that. But I did when I was younger. I was like 12, 13. I used to work at a car wash. So, and majority of them people over there were Spanish. So I'm over there, I'm washing cars. When they see a black person, they wouldn't go help that nigga. Because a black person might tip you $1 and maybe tip you not at all. So Spanish people was like, nah, we ain't tipping them. So that system over there, Now I think they implement that system nowadays. But back then, it's like if you get a tip, you put it in a pile, and at the end of the night, we all divide it. I'm like, nigga, there's 8 of us. How the fuck we gonna divide this? And especially if y'all say, oh, nah, this black person, we not doing it. So I remember one time I went to go dry off this black guy's car and stuff like that. This nigga pulled out like $10 and just shook my hand and put it in my hand. I was like, oh, I appreciate it. Spanish nigga saw it, snitched to the owner and the manager. Hey, they say you put a tip in your pocket. I was like, yeah, but nobody, they was like, yo, we didn't want to do his car. But I had to go stick my neck out and go help him out, and they wanted a piece of it. It'd been okay if we was all doing it. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but you can't do that. But I'm like, you ain't taking this $10 out of my pocket. He's like, all right, listen, for the future, you got to do. I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You just got to hide it better.
No, but you don't. How much can you hide it? It's okay if he was like, here, he reached out. Like, they were looking. They were peeping it because they know like he might tip and some shit like that. But it was like, nigga, when the white people come, man, all 8 of them, all 7 of them really, just there. Hey, how are you? And I'm like, white person would probably tip them like 25 cents a dollar. Yeah.
No, I having been in that bar long enough and having worked in the restaurant industry before, I'll tell you that race has, from my experience, no connection to whether you get tipped or not. Absolutely none. Maybe it's just the area that we're in, right? Maybe people are more liberal minded around here. But I know for a fact that I've been tipped horrible by every color. I've been tipped great by every color. Yeah. People are more similar than they are different. You know, like across races, cultures, and creeds. Like we all have the same fears, same motivations, or at least very similar ones, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, like assholes are gonna be assholes regardless of where they come from. They're just always there.
Nah, for sure. And that's why that's why I remember there was this one time I told this one white boy, like, it's a programming. Like people are really programmed. So this one white boy came up to me, it's probably like 4 years ago, something like that. I'm chilling at the bar, and then I was like, you know what? I'm a little hot and bored. Let me just go outside because I'm a person that's like, being around so many people, seeing things is much better than being cooped up in the bar and everyone's just vibing or whatever. So I was like, let me leave the bar. I left the bar. I go outside. I see people and all that. I'm just chilling on the bench. And then these 2 white boys come up to me. I'm looking like, they're like 6'2", pretty much in shape, young guys. So one of the young guys, he just starts expressing it in himself. He was like, yo, bro, yeah, man, I'm going through shit in life. I'm like, aren't we all? He's like, but you know, mine's is different. I said, okay, but why is yours different than anybody else's? He was like, well, you know, my dad wants me to do like so much better in life. I said, wait, you have a father? He's like, yeah, I have a father. I was like, okay, next question. Is your parents together? He was like, yeah, my mom and dad are together. And I'm like, wow, you're already above a lot of motherfuckers. And he doesn't think. He was like, yeah. I was like, your father wants you to do better in life. So he cares about you. He's like, yeah. It's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm in the Air Force. I was like, okay. So I was like, how about this? What else do you think is like fucking up your life? He said, yeah, well, I just broke up with my girlfriend. I was like, how long were you going out for? For like a year and some change. I was like, oh, how old are you guys? I'm like 22. I'm like, so yeah, like a high school sweetheart that didn't last. She's like, yeah. I said, you know what? Let me show you how much your life does not suck. Do you travel? He's like, yeah. I was like, when was the last time you traveled? He said, I went to Colombia. I said, let me show you how this world is yours. I said, when you went to Colombia, women threw themselves at you. He was like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, you didn't even know language, right? He's like, nah. And they were still throwing themselves at you. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, I went to the club and girl just started throwing themselves, dancing on me. I was like, I made out and everything. He's like, yeah, you fucked. He's like, yeah. Let me guess. She watches Pretty Women. She watches all these shows that a white man comes out of nowhere and swoops these women off their feet.
Prince Charming.
Yeah, Prince Charming. I was like, you know, you didn't have to do nothing, right? And you never have to do nothing. All you have to do is just live. So I told him, don't try to kill yourself because this world, well, this system was built for you to thrive and do whatever. He was like, I never saw it that way. I was like, yeah, go fuck some pussy. Go get some money, dog. And he was so happy. His boy was like, yeah, bro, that's what I've been telling you the fucking whole time. and they just wanted to go have fun. So
Well, the thing is, I think part of the reason why these disconnects happen is because suffering is relative, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know what the loss of a parent is like until it happens to you, right? If you never had a parent, you will also not know what a loss of a parent is, right? So for someone, losing their parent might be the greatest tragedy of their life. For someone, they never had a parent, so they'll never be able to experience that, right? Let's think about something smaller. Someone who's lived a very privileged life loses their high-paying job after 15 years. For Microsoft for 15 years, and after 15 years they get fired, and now they have an identity crisis. They've made millions of dollars. They live in a huge mansion. They have a nice car, right? They can probably get another job now at Google or whatever, right? They have a stellar resume, right? But they are crushed because their whole life has been so easy that this is literally the hardest thing that they've ever had to deal with. To them, the amount of suffering that they feel is the same as you when you're suffering the most that you've ever felt, because it's all relative. They still feel just as many negative chemical reactions happening in their brain as you do.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, like saying someone's suffering is greater or less. Like obviously they're like, someone who stubbed their toe can't complain to someone who had their leg chopped off, right? But in that moment, it still hurts them. And maybe if that's the first, if that was a bubble boy, first time they ever got hurt ever, it's going to hurt a lot. They have no other point of reference to say if this is a big tragedy or a small tragedy.
Yeah.
So I think you have to keep that in mind. Context is everything, right? You can know that their life is easier than yours, but you can also sympathize with the fact that they're going through the hardest day of their life.
No, that is true. So that's why, I tell folks, hey, don't try to compare your life to, but I always say there's assholes in every culture. There's good people in every culture or every background. And sometimes, you got to accept folks who they are, especially if they show you who you are. And some people...
Certainly can't control them.
Oh, Lord, sure. They can't even control themselves.
Exactly.
People cannot control themselves. And speaking of jobs, let me tell you about how I had plenty of odd jobs when I was younger. I had this one security job. Man, this was like the weirdest job. So I'm from Linden. Now, there's a spot in Elizabeth called the Bayway Circle. Around there, that's the Bayway Projects. So in the Bayway Projects, that's the hood. You got like 6 buildings surrounding each other. You got different hoods, different sets. It's just the whole clutterfuck over there. So one time, the security company was like, yo, we need somebody to go over there because the person that used to work there left. So I get up in there. I'm looking like, oh, this is a nice facility. What do I have to do? They just said, oh, just walk around, make sure everyone's okay, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I was like, what happened to the other security guard? Like, why did he leave this nice job? I was like, oh, he just got a better one. I'm like, okay, no problem. So then they was like, oh, let me tell you something that he used to do. I said, I thought he just walked around. No. What he used to do extra... and we expect you to do it because he did it. I'm like, They said, can you go outside to the projects and tell the people they can't sell drugs around the building? I said, wait, excuse me? I said, oh, does this come with a gun? Because I don't have a gun.
No, step outside and draw a target on your chest real quick, all right?
Big ass target.
Yeah, bright red.
I was like, she was like, yeah. But he used to do it and respect that because, he did it. I'm like, oh, so he went out there. When I looked outside, there was like 6 niggas just on this corner alone. When I looked down, there was a pit bull with 2 other niggas. I was like, oh, you want me to go tell them to stop making money for their family, probably their gang leader or whoever, for these kids that are safe in here, that's probably their nephews and nieces and kids. It's like, yeah. I said, okay, this is wild. I was like, nope. Called the company up. I was like, yo, bro, they wild. And he's like, nah, that's not your duty. I'm like, you damn right. You need to tell her this.
Right.
So then, like, not too long after, the dude comes up that used to do the job. He was like 6'4", 6'5". He looked like Kevin Love back in those days. And I was like, oh, yeah, you look like one of those wild boys that don't have it up here. I was like, why'd you leave? Oh, I got a better job. I was like, oh, so you were tired and probably scared of this shit. He was like, Yeah, but don't tell them. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Nigga, I ain't last more than the 2 days.
No, fuck that. I mean, so many jobs, especially, no offense, lower level ones like this, there's always that unwritten shit. It's not in the job description. It's not up on Indeed. You know what I mean? They don't tell you that shit on your first day. You just kind of stumble onto it, and they hope that they already have you captive, right? Because they're like, yo, you need this money, right?
Yeah.
Like, my example is not going to be nearly as brutal, right? But, like, you would think that being a ballroom dance instructor, for example, your job is to instruct ballroom dance. No. Your actual job is to dance with old ladies and tell them that they're beautiful and that they're doing a great job. That is actually the majority of your job. You don't actually have to be a good dancer. I only trained for 3 months, and they were like, all right, you're ready. I started with nothing. And they're like, all right, you'll just teach the beginner course. So I'm literally teaching them what I just learned, right? But they're like, yo, you're young, you're handsome, your whole entire job is to make these women feel loved. Most of them are widows or their husband doesn't love them anymore, right? Yeah. You just have to make them have a good time, and then you'll get nice tips, and then we're all happy, right? So it was never about teaching them, right? And you, like, I'm guessing that, securing a location for little boys and girls, yeah, of course, there might be some situations which might arise, but it's clear that the main purpose was preserving image by removing drug dealers from outside the front of the building, right? Yeah. They don't tell you that during the interview. They just throw you in there and hope that you don't care, right? Yeah. Hope that you're as dumb as that guy that was there before you.
Oh, you know what's the crazy part? It wasn't in front of the building.
It was down the street.
It was almost down the street. It was probably a good half a block. Because you have to go outside, go around. Let's say if you go through the front, then you got to go to the side, then you got to go to the side again. Wow. And then you got to go like 8 steps or maybe 12 steps. That's their project. It wasn't that they were in front of there loitering and nothing like that or in the parking lot. No, they were in their project is right next to it. I was like, it'd been okay if they was in front of it. Then I'd be like, yo, you got to go. You're in front of here. These niggas was over there minding their goddamn business.
Not even your jurisdiction.
Not even my goddamn jurisdiction. Cops didn't even really stop those niggas.
Oh, of course not. They have some self-preservation, right?
Come on, man. I was like, man, this was the stupidest setup. But no, you was out here being Magic Mike and shit. This nigga was out here being Magic Mike dancing with his shirt off on these old hoes and shit.
It wasn't with the shirt off, all right? There's classical ballroom dance. That's what makes it classy. I was a classy escort, okay?
No, I'm joking. Oh, there you go. You were But no, but I get it, shit. That's why once I got to a certain age, I was like, if I work at a job that's not paying me a lot, I gotta rob these niggas. Mm-hmm. I gotta rob these niggas. I don't work so many jobs that I had to make money. Like, I used to work at, I'm not gonna say the store, but I'll tell you how I made the money. So I used to work at a hardware store. So I was a cashier. So people always laugh, oh, you're a cashier, that's a chick's job. I said, okay, let it be a chick's job. So I'm over there getting money, doing everything low key. But then I started learning a system. My people used to tell me, nigga, they used to rob these places blind. I said, word? But then they told me the system. I said, I'm going to do it by myself. Because when you have other people, that's how you get caught. So let's say if somebody would come up like 5 carts of shit, that shit would probably be like 3,000, maybe 5,000. I charge them maybe like, if it was 5,000, I'd charge them like 24, maybe 3,000. Ooh. They'll give me like 600.
Good deal for everybody.
Yeah. Man, I used to make so much money. Shit. Nigga, I used to sell drugs, rob these niggas, and still get a paycheck.
Living the dream.
Living the high school dream. Nigga, every day I brought clothes. I brought niggas food for no reason. Bitches, shit. I'm like, bitch, what you want? She's like, I don't know. Bitch, just get it. Money was endless. You feel me? And I was robbing these niggas the whole time I was there. I even taught people how to do the system too, and them niggas started getting reckless. These niggas just not even giving a fuck. Niggas get exchanging the money in front of the camera. Niggas, I was like, I got to separate myself from yo dumbass. So them niggas end up getting caught. I still never got caught. I got fired for some dumb shit because of tardiness. Ain't that some shit? I done saved these niggas thousands of dollars. There was one time, it was late. It was like about to close, and some dudes leaving with a big ass snowplow. I'm like, yo, dude, where's your receipt? I was like, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you said. Where's the receipt? He pointed this way like one of his homies got it. I turned. I was like, oh, this nigga tried to hit me with the okie doke.
Yeah.
So I run after him. I grabbed the cart and I was like, yo, dude, because they say once you leave the premise, once you step outside of the door, you're free to go. I grabbed him right before he got free. And then I pulled it. I was like, yo, listen, come back with a receipt. You can have it. So I put the cart over there. And then when my manager comes up, hey, Demos, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm just chilling. I'm bored as hell. He was like, what the fuck is this snowplow doing here? I was like, some guy tried to say his homeboy has a receipt, and I told him go get the receipt and then come back. He was like, what? He said, let me see this. Gets the gun, to scan it, how much it was. He said, this shit was, I think it was $1,600. After taxes, around like almost $2,000. He said, you just saved this company $2,000. And he said, he must have knew something I didn't know. He said, if they ever try to fire you, bring this shit up. A week later, they fired me. I ain't bring it up. I had the receipt and everything, but I was like, damn, y'all niggas gonna fire me for this? And I just say, I was like, you know what?
All right, I got two things to say about that. First of all, how did you pick your marks? You know what I mean? How did you know who was cool to approach to and who did you know was going to be a caring about and talk to a manager?
One, I always will look at, they will approach me. Some people approach me. Like one dude, he approached me like, yo, bro, like, what's good? Like, I'm finna, like, spend, like, this amount of money. I got this amount. I said, nigga, I could work with you. So, and then he would tell his friends, and he would tell his friends.
Get your network, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that was. And then sometimes they'll keep coming back because they had multiple projects.
Of course.
So that's how I pretty much kept in that network, so.
That makes sense because, you know, it would be the people that have to go back the most often who would take that risk because then they're going to save more money long term working with one specific person. Smart. All right. I like that. And now the second question, trying to remember what I was thinking before that one. So, yeah, I remember now. So isn't it funny how when you get money easy, you know what I mean? Like, for, you know, dealing drugs doesn't take no skills, right? That's always the first money to go to.
Yeah.
Like as soon as, and it obviously it usually happens when you're younger because when you get older, for a lot of us, you know, you're not gonna be doing all that sketchy shit you were doing as a kid, right?
Risk.
But as soon as you get like that first couple $1,000s, you know, it's gone within a week, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is it that we put in all that effort to, you know, like hustle, steal, whatever, right? Didn't save a fucking penny for ourselves.
Man, because you know what it is? To me, it's like you get everything that you wanted. You wanted something, you got it. There's no, I got to beg for someone. It's like you earned it. So it's like, fuck it. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. Here it is. Is it smart when you're young in doing it? Sure. But if I was older or have that mindset now, like if I had my mindset I have now back then, nigga, I'd have saved that and invested in something else bigger. Nigga, I'd have bought like a fucking house.
Stocks,
something. I'd have bought something. All that money, I could have been, granted, they would have looked at me crazy. What the fuck, you're 18 years old with $30,000?
It would leave a paper trail. Like, yeah, man. That's true. That's true.
Like Home Depot, the department store does not pay that much, all right? Especially if my pay stub, they'll be like, yeah. So that's probably another thing,
that's probably actually the biggest thing now that I think about it, right? Because if you're making waves that big, that's how you get caught, right? So if you get money from the street, it just ends up going right back to the street, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be putting that in the bank account, you know what I mean? All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think of it that all the way through.
Yeah, because that's why my paychecks will always go to my bank account. And then so when my teachers would see like, yo, how the fuck you get all this clothes? Everybody knew where I worked because a teacher might have saw me at the work or they would, you know, they'd be like, oh, where you about to go? I'm about to go to work. You feel me? So so now it's like, all right, well, we might think he's selling drugs, but he has a paycheck. So fuck it, that's probably how he was getting it. So yeah, man, that's why, you know what I mean, when people used to be all like, oh, we love Donald Trump because Donald Trump made so much like revenues and income. I was like, nigga, that's what was one of my inspirations. Him, Michael Jordan, all these people, they weren't just getting money from one place, they was getting it from multiple places.
Yeah, multiple streams of income.
Yeah, bro, trust me. Even I worked at the airport. Ooh, nigga.
How you scheme over there?
I had to learn the system again. So I worked part of the airlines, but I worked for like the little brother company. So the little brother company, what they would do was pack the carts. So the carts would have, you know, snacks, juices, and liquor. So what I used to do was I had this big jacket. You see that blue one right there?
Yeah,
light skin
yeah.
one? Shit. Pockets deep. Like pockets like this long.
He held up a pillow about like 2.5 feet long just now. Yeah.
Facts. So just let everybody knows that I can't see in the TV world. The pillow is about an arm. It's about 3 feet.
Yeah.
So now what I would do is I'll probably show you a picture. Let me see if I have the picture while I tell the story. So what I'll do is
The scheme.
I seen how the securities would work. They're sitting down at the desk. So since they're sitting and they're short, the desk is about up to someone's chest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how tall the I forgot what
Counter.
the counter is.
Yeah.
It's up to about 4 or 5 feet, and they're sitting down, and their desk is probably like 3 feet off the ground, so you can't see. So when I walk past them, they can't see that my pockets are stuffed. And two, I don't stuff it too much because what I'll do is I'll have a hoodie under that jacket. Then I had pants that was like that too. Then I have sweatpants. So then I have those pants over the sweatpants, and then I have the jacket over that. Then I'll have pockets inside the hoodie. Then I have these pockets inside the hoodie. Then I'll have 4 pockets on my pants and then the back pocket. So, and then I'll put stuff in that. So every time I'll have 10 pockets full of shit.
Oof.
So I have 10 pockets full of little mini bottles. Every mini bottle is like
The shooters, right?
the little shooters, bro. I could probably fit 40 in one pocket, 40 in another one.
Holy shit.
Then I'll fit probably 10, 15 in 4 of the other pockets. Then I'll take cookies and fruits and vegetables. So what I'll do is I'll go fill up my whole thing with bottles. So I'm leaving at least 80 bottles. Then I'll go dump it in my car. Then I'll come back. I'll open up fruits and vegetables. I'll put them in like these long bags. Put them in there too. Go to my car.
Fruits and
dump them.
vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. Bro, watermelons,
Eating
pineapples.
nutritious.
Oh my God. Then I'll fuck up and get some cookies too. Bro. At a point, bro, niggas used to come to my house. Yo, bro, I had like the 1.5 liters of Fiji. I have like 6 of those all filled with Tito's.
Ooh. Oh, you would like you
Yeah,
would siphon
dump them in
them out.
because
Yeah.
it was taking up too much room. That's why now I don't drink Tito's because nigga, that's all I had. I was drinking Tito's before we became popular. I was like, nah, I'm not drinking Tito's no more because that's all I had at a point. And bro, I used to rob. I never got caught. Niggas would be like, yo, bro, can you steal this from me? Big ass wine bottle. I'd be like, all right, cool. I used to steal wine bottles from my ex. I'm like, yo, she's like, this is my favorite wine. Every time she come to my house, there's really like 6 of them. I was like, hey, every time you come, just take some. I was like, you know what? Just take them home. I don't want that nasty shit. The fuck? So
If they made that job worth keeping, right? There's a post I read recently online. It was something like, would you flip burgers for $300,000 a year? Yes. So I guess the flipping burgers part is not the problem, right? Same thing here, right? If they were paying you what you were like, what we should be getting, like a reasonable amount of money. Again, we're talking about the billionaires too, right?
Yeah.
How is it that they're so rich? But anyway, like if they were paying you well enough, you wouldn't feel the need to steal because you would be able to afford all that shit on your own, right? You would feel like you're respected. Not saying that no one would steal, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, like you wouldn't feel compelled to do it, right? But because like when I was working in fast dining, right, after a raise, I was making $9.50 an hour, right? And they were taking away our tips, by the way. So like no tips, but you do get $9.50 an hour. Okay, fine, whatever, right? And some days they would have me open by myself, so I would open the restaurant, right? Do all the umbrellas, do all the tables, right? Like check the stock. Then I would greet people when they come in through the door. I would take the order by the cash register. I would go in the back and cook their meal.
Oh, what the fuck? All by yourself?
Serve their table, then table touch, then bus, then do the dishes, then do the next person, right? And so after doing that for a couple of months, right, I was like I started getting reckless. I was like, yo, fuck this, right? Like I would put in like 5 different orders. Like someone came in and ordered something, right?
Yeah.
I would put something on their order and then I would cancel it so it comes out like it doesn't charge them, but it shows that it was on the receipt, right?
Okay.
All right, that's for my boy, right? And then do that like 5 times. Got dinner for the whole family, right?
What?
Double portions. I made it myself, and no one questions it because I'm always cooking back there anyway, right? So like they're like, oh, all right, we have extras all the time, blah blah blah, and they see me moving one tray here, one tray there, boom boom boom. All that food ends up in my backpack, back into my car, and done, right? And like if they had paid me a normal wage where I wouldn't feel compelled to steal, I don't think I would have stolen. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I probably still
You probably still steal.
I don't know. I think I was watching. There was this TV show called The Game, and he was like, it was this dude named Malik. You know, he's it's a pretend character, but he said he was like, yo, I'm rich, but I still steal. I still steal. I'm like, I don't know. And right now I'm saying I probably still would do it. Nah, I probably wouldn't. If I'm making like hella money, hella millions, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk anymore.
Yeah,
you got too much to lose now. You see, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. All right. This is a picture of how much that was.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's like an entire couch loaded, and it's like a mountain on the couch, by the way. Yeah.
And that was certain times. That was then and then I had to clean it up, and this is how it looked like when it was clean.
Okay, I see you. Yeah, I see those big ass Fiji bottles. Yeah.
So yeah.
Must have thrown some nice parties.
Oh yeah, bro. They just come loaded over here. Then I ended up selling them. So that was one thing too. I sold them to like a person that had a mom and pop shop. And I was like, nigga, here. I started selling them bottles. So let's say I'll sell them, let's say like 50 bottles. I just make like 100. So I got it for free. Sold it for 100. So
there's also more subtle ways of stealing. I'm not saying this one just to pat myself on the back. I just think it's a cool story. All right. So at my previous job, I used to work as a fraud analyst, right? We have access to all these databases, right? Like criminal database, like a database of where a person's lived their whole life, you know, like birthday and all that, because we're trying to make connections between people to make sure that someone didn't steal someone else's credit card, right?
Okay.
If I can connect you to your cousin who lives all the way across the country because you guys are friends on Facebook, I'm gonna let this order go through because I know it's, you know, between friends. Yeah. If y'all don't have the same last name, it could be that he stole your credit card, for example, right? So anyway, I have access to all this information, right? Like on anyone I want, basically, right? It costs money to do those searches. Some of them cost as much as you have to pay $1 every time you search a name, for example, right?
Oh, wow.
And the company, they keep tabs on that, right? And at one point they came up to me, they're like, all right, you're searched less than anyone else. Like, you know, like you saved the company so much money. I'm like, oh, so what you're telling me is I can do more searching and you guys won't mind it, right? So I started doing this little vigilante justice type thing. For example, one of my boxing coach back then, right? Someone stole some kid's phone, and she knew who the kid was, but she didn't know anything about him, right? Like, you know, like he would come, like she met his parents once. She doesn't know where his address is, whatever. She just has a name, right?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I got this for you, right? Looked up his family, found them in New Brunswick, found their address, right? Found their PO box, right? And then like she started hitting me up for small jobs like that. It's like, hey, we were renting out this house to this one guy. He booked it and ran, right? We think he might be in Nutley or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll find it for you. Boom, found a PO box. Found his wife's address, you know, shit like that. It's like, yeah, go serve him there. You know what I mean? So I was doing, like, technically I'm stealing because it costs money for me to do all these searches. Yeah. I would mix them in throughout the day, like, you know, like, so it wouldn't stand out. It's not like I'm on my lunch break doing this, right? Yeah. But I started doing this vigilante justice program, and so many people were so thankful because I got to help them fix their problems. And they're like, yo, how are you doing this? I'm like, don't ask. You don't have to know. You know what I mean?
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, exactly, right? So there's ways to. I mean, and you were helping out your people, right? You're not stealing fruit to get rich. You know what I mean?
Nah, fuck no.
You're stealing fruit to save money on groceries and eat well. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Like I said, shit, fruits, vegetables, all that shit. And, you know, dealing with people, you know, you got people that will, like, look out for you. Sometimes I used to get, like, my people used to come from Trinidad and bring white Hennessy. They're like, yo, you did this for me here. You know what I mean? Or they might charge someone 50 and charge me 20. You know, because I, you know, looked out for them. So, yeah, you know, making connections is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Making connections is a beautiful thing. And networking, I always tell people, that's like, for us, to me, what I believe, we come here to network and become a better person. If you just come here and you just stuck and you just same person, you ain't learn shit and you end up dying, like,
yeah, you amount to nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. I'm like, hell no. That's why I tell people, learn something, pick up a book and stuff like that. Like, so speaking of picking up books, I remember one time when I was in college, and one of the professors came up to me. He was like, "Who is your favorite author?" And everybody started coming up and talking about, "Oh, this is my favorite author. It's the book. This, that, and the third." I said, "My favorite author is Mark Brown," and they was like, "Mark Brown." Then I showed them Arthur. They was like, "What?" Everybody started laughing. Like, you're a grown man loving Arthur, but then I explained to them how this anteater and how it meshes with our society and their society and how he made it. Then everybody was like, "Oh shit, I never saw it that way." I'm like, yeah, you think because it's a cartoon, it's a kid's story, but no, it has so many undertone layers to it. They was like, "Oh shit." So, you know, shout out to Mark Brown, man. And, you know, since then, I still read other books like, you know, Art of Seduction. I read that. listen. What is that called?
Audiobook.
Audiobook. I probably listened to that over like 20 times. 48 Laws of Power over like 50. So those two books, like, I might even go brush up on those books again and like just start going back to walking and putting those on. So, what books are you interested in? Stuff like that.
All right, so the book that I've reread the most times is probably Ender's Game, which is relevant to you because of one of the characters in there shares a name with you, right? So that book, I mean, it was just my childhood favorite, and I would reread it every year for like many years. And I haven't read it in a couple of years, but like it's one of the pleasures of rereading a book is discovering something new about it. And if you already liked the book in the first place, now you're making new connections, finding new details. It's kind of like it feels like you're almost like growing new like ridges on your brain. You know what I mean? Like because you're thinking more and more critically about something, the more familiar you are with it. But I would say my favorite book was probably 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. He's a Colombian author. Wow. It's like a semi-fantastical story. So like there's like stuff like magic and stuff, but it's not like the dominant aspect of the story. It's kind of like a salesman who can keep things cold forever. He actually just like is an ice cream salesman. Okay. It's from like the 19th century or whatever. Okay. Anyway, so it follows the story of a single family and all the trials and tribulations they go to. Like, you know, like first it's like the first generation with grandma, grandpa, then it's the next generation, right? And there's like, you know, love affairs and this and that. It's just such a innately human book. You know, it's about humans and their lives mostly, right? And I feel like that's one of the things that's most important about reading is inhabiting the life of someone else. We're pretty familiar with our own lives, but knowing how other people live gives us that context and that interpretation, as we were talking earlier about, you know, like the context of suffering, right? After reading that book, I realized, oh shit, some of the stuff that I'm going through ain't nothing compared to this. Right? Facts. And because you're reading it, it's almost like you're like writing it into your brain. It's not like TV where like these images come and go and like, you know, people getting shot, blah, 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 blah. You don't have enough time to process it. A book, you read a heavy passage, maybe you reread it again. Sometimes you put that book down, you sit there and think about it for a minute, right? I feel like that has the power to change how we view ourselves and other people. So if you're looking for a book that is not about, you know, like introspection and meditation, but will lead you to that place, I'd recommend that one, 100 Years of Solitude.
100 Years of Solitude, shit, I might have to go pick that up. They got an audio book, nigga. That'll be.
I'm positive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm positive. It's one of the like. It's a very popular book in the world. Like 50 languages and all that.
Oh yeah, then for sure, gonna have that. And I remember speaking about, you know, people going through their own trials and tribulations. There was this, I think, a Wrath in the Sun. I think it was. It was this. It's a book, and then and it was a movie. So it was like 1920s. It was about these farmers. It was a father, wife, kids, and the grandparents. They were farmers, but then their farm went under, and they had to get up and move because the government was like, nigga, if you can't pay for your farm, we're taking it. So.
Was it Grapes of Wrath by any chance?
Grapes of Wrath, there we go.
Great book.
So we read the book, and then we watched the movie. So then I'm looking like, wow. I remember one time the plow people came. He was like, "Yo, bro, we're about to take your house." He was like, "Listen. We know you, Billy Bob, but if you blow my head off, just know that the government is going to send another one. If you blow that person's head off, they're going to send another one. If after that third person, they're going to kill everybody that you know."
Yeah.
So you might as well just leave. There's no point in going down this rabbit hole. He was like, so they end up leaving and stuff like that. So this was history class. So now I remember I was watching we was reading about Harlem Renaissance and stuff like that, and how they had all these ghettos and stuff like that. As I'm looking at these pictures, I started realizing something that blew my mind. I would see the poor people wearing jeans, because they're farmers or they're just poor. And then when you look at the Harlem Renaissance, they had nice suits, ties, always dressed up every day. Then I looked around in my classroom. I seen us have baggy jeans, no one's in dress clothes but the teacher, possibly, you know, unless it's casual day. I'm looking like, yo, they done flipped the shit on us.
Yep.
And that blew my mind at a young age, like, yeah, nah, shit has changed now. And it had me all fucked up in the mind, made me start realizing things and being awake, like, all right, bro, I got to switch my mind because I can't, you know. So, yeah, that was a good period of time. And this was another thing about, when we talk about names. I remember think my brother and them made fun of me. He was like, nigga, you're like the only nigga that I knew that went to school 6 days a week your whole high school career.
You had detention every
I
Saturday?
had Saturday school every week. And the reason why I had Saturday school wasn't because of behavior. It's because I was tardy. Like, I'll come to school. School started at like 8:05. I might come at 8:06. Like, I'm not rushing. I'm like, nigga, all right, if I'm outside of my class, once the bell rings, they'll close the door on you. Oh, you got to go. I'm like, bro. So that's how.
Sorry to interrupt. You know what's ironic? It's the fact that they did that to you for all 4 years, but you still didn't learn. You still showed up late to Home Depot. Like, it just goes to show that the teaching method was not effective. Saturday detention was not a solution for tardiness, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, continue.
No, I got shit. I think that was even the only job that I think. Nah, the shit. I know I lost another job at the airport. Is so I was over there, right, and it was New Year's. Like, there was nothing to do that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was New Year's. Then it was like, yo, the manager, she's a real asshole. We don't care if there's nothing here to do, just stay in here or come back on time. So I was like, fuck that. She's not even here. You know what I mean? She's on vacation. But the manager that was there was like, yo, it don't matter. She's like an anal like that. I was like, whatever. So we went on a lunch break and everything. And it was a 30-minute lunch break. I came back like 10 minutes late. Asked me, was it worth it? I came back 10 minutes late. I was talking to a girl. We just talking to parlay and stuff like that because she worked in a different section of the airport. We talking to parlay and I didn't even get her number or anything like that. So I come back. They was like, yeah, give me your badge. I was like, what happened?
Damn.
They was like, yeah, she called and asked for a head count and you weren't here. I was like,
everything we do in the dark comes out in the light.
Shit. So that shit, I was like, you know what? Since then, I started like getting better at coming on time and started listening. I still be showing up late to certain spots. Still, I'm like, yo, bro, like, especially, you know what I mean, jobs that's like, let's say if you start at 11, and you close at 3, but you're still helping out till 4 o'clock. Are you paying me extra for this? No. Oh, so I ain't coming on time. Fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, but that's to me, it's a stupid mindset sometimes. It all depends. So, you know. I'm not the best at it, but back to the story of learning my last name. So it's in Saturday school, Mr. Steer used to, Mr. Demosthenes. he if you like say something stupid in class or like cut him off, he's like, you guys are messing up with these hard-earned kids. Their parents are paying tax money for them to learn and educate while you guys are being buffoons. When I go to McDonald's 20 years from now, I'm going to make sure you give me extra hot sauce and extra napkins. I was like, shit.
Damn.
Like, that's what he used to tell motherfuckers. He had these 4 things, and those were his 2. So one time, I'm sleeping in Saturday school. I'm like, I got my headphones on. I put my thing on. He said, Mr. Demosthenes. I was like, fuck. I'm like, huh? Other than sleeping, get up. I was like, what do you want from me? He said, go to this computer. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go on MySpace, Facebook and shit. You know what I mean? Because back then, you couldn't go directly on it. You had to go through a website, then another website to get to those websites. So I'm like, all right, you about to let me? He said, no. He said, I want you to look up your last name. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about my last name. That's what I said in my mind. I'm ready in Saturday school. I ain't trying to get suspended. So in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this. He was like, well, you're gonna learn about your last name. You're gonna give me a report after. Everybody started laughing. I said, this nigga's different, bucko. So I'm over there I think Saturday school was 4 hours, from 8 to 12. Man, I'm over there writing a whole report about my last name. But honestly, me actually doing that report opened my mind to my last name, and I was like, I'm actually super proud of it. And when I gave him the report, he crumbled his shit up, and he was like,
of course. Did
you learn something? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, then that's all that matters. And I told him, and he was like, all right, go ahead. Saturday school's over. And I was like, yeah. So, yeah, but shouts out to the last name. Shouts out to Mr. Steer. And, yeah, it was, you know, and I'm going to say something that's very, very fucked up and controversial.
I'm ready.
I think I learned more from the male teachers than I ever really learned from female teachers.
Is it because of you or because of them?
To me, I believe it's them. And that's why they always say that's why they have female teachers, because female teachers are probably, there's like a disconnect with not even just boys, because they have this science too. Like if a single mother raised their kid, most likely there's a higher chance that kids will go to jail, be in the streets or whatever. But if a kid lives with their father, male or female, there's a lower chance of them going to jail or anything like that.
Do you think that that's gender based, or do you think that that might be due to external factors? So if you would assume the fact that on average men make more money than women do, if you have a single father, that means you're naturally in a household that has more resources, so therefore you're less likely to go out committing crimes and robbing and gangbanging.
I never thought about it coming to money. I thought it was just more the disciplines part. And you got to remember, back in those days, the whole system was being Ronald Reagan being the face of it. You got to remember, Ronald Reagan even said, you ever watched the documentary that came out like 3 years ago?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's a very interesting documentary. If you didn't know about Ronald Reagan, and like, they always call them people puppets, but he was the face of it. So he said, I'm going to create more jobs. This is when like Dyfus and them just started. It was around him. He said, I'm going to create more jobs and more opportunities. So what happened was they will shut down these car factories, oil refineries and stuff like that. And then who lose their job? The fathers. The majority of those fathers are black. So now, since they can't provide, that their ego and their pride was, I'm providing for my family. Now they can't provide for their family. They go depressed. What do they turn to? Drugs. That's when the drugs and that happen. Then the mothers are now by themselves. Guess what? They're like, oh, you're an unfit mother. They would take the kids from them. So, and then later on, they will start giving these mother jobs and welfare and stuff like that. Like, here's your new daddy. So the females, now fast forward, the females will have money to raise their kids, but it's probably their mindset, how they handle pressure, how they handle certain things, and that passes on to your kids. While a father might have a balance, not all fathers, but they might have a different understanding, a different scope of view, and teach a kid differently than their mother would. So that's why I'm saying it could be the finance, but it's the understanding, the approach and stuff like that. You feel me? So that's why I say that.
I mean, it could be that. I do have an interesting point on Reagan later, but I mean, I guess I never really noticed that there was a difference between a female teacher and a male teacher for me. Like I would say that the ones that have been the most influential for me were probably the male. That's because of gender. I think it's because we're both men and we communicate differently to each other than we do to women, right? And like if we teach a classroom, we're going to do it differently than we do to women. I have a friend who is a math teacher and he teaches at an all-girls school. So that dynamic is probably completely different for him than it is for us in our case, right? I don't think that I'm sure that if you ask a lot of women who their favorite teachers were or who they learned the most from, I think it could easily be that they would say that women teachers taught them more.
Well, they're going to say that more because you got to remember, let's say in our school, we probably had 6 male teachers, while the other 60 were females. There was probably 12 males, just like from hall walkers down to a teacher or a teacher's aide or even a janitor. Probably 12 males out of everybody else is probably 80 females. So you feel me? You're gonna see more females saying, "Oh, this was my favorite teacher," because you probably
statistically
didn't have,
speaking, yeah.
Your male teachers might have just been the gym teacher. So
yeah, I guess it is a female-dominated field.
Yeah.
All right. So my point on Reagan. So there's this excellent website called WTF Happened in 1971.
Yeah.
And it's basically a bunch of charts that show that in 1971 we had some sort of inflection point as a society where like homelessness goes up, poverty goes up, union jobs go down, what's called a concentration of wealth in the top 1% goes up, right? Like basically every single statistic that is bad now, it started becoming bad in 1971. The question is, what the fuck happened, right? Well, it's, like you said, Reagan was the puppet in some ways. I mean, he was an actor before he became president. You really think that you really think he was in there making big ass decisions on his own? Hell no. There was a lot of powerful people behind him that were probably doing that.
Yeah.
And a lot of that can be seen in this website, and it's literally just a list of graphs. Okay. Like anyone can understand it. So I highly recommend you guys. If anyone's wondering about why society sucks today, take a look at that site. See some interesting things.
Oh yeah. Oh, no, for sure. You could. What was the website again for the
WTF happened in 1971.com.
Yeah, No, and that documentary, you go read that or watch that article, and then you go watch the documentary. It goes hand in hand because, like, trust me, that's when things started turning, and then that's why you start seeing the shows like Good Times and stuff like that. They were showing you what was happening now in Chicago, but that was affecting the whole world. So, you know. But then you had the Bill Cosby show try to balance it out, like, yo, yeah, that might happen to those people, but the people that are educated or took the time to go to school, this is a change. So. But shout out to them.
Yeah, I think television back then in the days, like in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, it was so much more propaganda than it is today. In the sense that, I mean, right now we do have like, like all the lifestyles of rich and famous, like Kardashians and all that shows, right? But those are like obviously affluent people, right? Back then, they were trying to convince us that the dude from Home Alone could afford like a fucking 10-house mansion on a single salary, right? Like Homer Simpson works at the nuclear power plant as like a button pusher, and he's supporting a 5-person family and 2 cars and a like a 2-car garage and shit, right? Try doing that nowadays, right? It's like that wasn't feasible back then. Now it's straight up impossible, right? So all those shows that try to make things look like they're so awesome, like even shows that dealt with stuff like teen emotional issues like Growing Pains or like Boy Meets World or whatever, right?
Wow.
Like all if you look at all their houses, they all live in nice houses. They're all well kept, like all the houses are clean, right? There's no dirt nowhere, there's no cracks in the ceiling, right? No one's getting bills in the mail that they can't pay type shit, right? They're presenting this idealized version of an American life that was out of reach for everyone. Kind of like the way that Kim Kardashian's BBL is out of reach for most women, you know what I mean? Like they're presenting us an ideal as a form of propaganda, as a form of social control. You don't have enough yet. Keep consuming, keep purchasing, keep working. Maybe one day you'll get there.
Yeah, and that is right. Like, like Kim Kardashian, how she got famous from a sex tape. And now that's why you see pornos has gone up, like homemade videos. Like back in those days, you had a homemade video and that was it. It stayed between you and the person unless, they show their people that come around. But now it's like you make a home videos, like they said the porno industry has, like back in those days, there was like a community. Like, all right, this guy will go over there and this girl will go over here. Now it's like, yo, bro, they're running out of business because everyone has a porno. Everyone has their own platform. If you have a camera, there you go. That's it. And I was like, damn. So, that industry got, taken down. Then you got, remember, and that's like how AI is taking over, self-checkout. I went to one of these stores, Sprouts. This is not paid. Y'all niggas owe me a check. But I went to Sprout and nigga, I think they had one register in all cash self-checkout. I was like, what the fuck? There was barely anybody there. I'm like, yo, this is so fucking weird. Now it's like a lot of spots are just like, yo, you just have self-checkout. And now you got AI thinking for you, It's just so, like, things is changing. It's like you thought that people were losing jobs back then. Nigga, they talking about Amazon about to get a warehouse just full of machines.
Yeah.
So you think what happened in the 70s is not about to repeat itself?
It's going to be worse. And on the other thing, too, is that what's crazy is that AI, they recently released a report I read where even at a time where I think something like 30% of companies adopted some form of AI into their workflow, net productivity only went up like 3 or 5%. So it's like a lot of people are, like the person who's using the AI to help themselves, right? They then have to check the AI's work because that shit hallucinates. It makes dummy ass mistakes, right?
Oh, yeah.
AI is not like ChatGPT is horrible at math, for example, right?
Oh, really?
If you ask it some math equation, it won't do it because it's not thinking. It's predicting what the next word in a sentence should be.
Yeah.
So it's basically giving us a script, right? Yeah. Nowadays we have people using AI to write their job applications, and then they're getting processed by AI on the other side. So like not a single person's actually communicating, and like people are wondering why it's hard to find a job, right? It's because not a single human, like no one's eyes ever actually touched that paper that you submitted. I've submitted job applications where I have every single qualification rejected the next day at like 3:40 in the morning. Who's doing that? Who's sitting up at which HR person sitting on a Sunday morning at 3:40 in the morning rejecting nobody, right?
Nobody,
it's the system. It finally got to my turn. It ran it. Oh, you didn't have this keyword, didn't have that keyword. See it. Don't want to know more, right? It's I don't think it's the solution to any of our problems, especially not in the current society that we're in, where we're willing to let people fall with no safety net. we can't take away more jobs in such a system. If we had a system where, you know, being jobless wasn't a death sentence, then I would be, yeah, fuck yeah, AI. Like, you know, take more jobs. I don't give a shit. I don't need to see the person that is like, you know, scanning my groceries. I mean, it's nice, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
but like if I knew that that person wasn't gonna end up homeless, like then I'd be like, okay, fine, bring that AI shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
And it should be replacing those small things. What it shouldn't be doing is like being in CEO's hands, making decisions about like the corporation, which I'm guarantee someone out there is doing and fucking up that way.
For sure. Because shit, nigga, there was an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They had the CEO was getting orders from his dead dog, a stuffed dog. So it shows that, you know, so people were getting ideas and shit like from weird shit. And then Wills took over. I was like, oh my gosh. So some loony motherfuckers, but no, like, yeah, this AI shit is like, it's like some people, it could be good and it could be bad. And right now it's getting real bad. Like shit, now you start seeing they manipulating the AI so much. Like they saying like the moon landing was a little AI, and then now you have like Diddy. They had like Diddy like kissing on a man. That was AI.
Yep.
That you have now. They have like you can do emotion, and then you could put a filter. Like, you know, back in the day, you put a filter on Snapchat, move around, and there's a spider. Now you could put a filter that your whole body's a female.
Yep.
And then niggas is tricking people like that. I'm like, what?
If you think about it, like it's if you can't trust what you see, what's presented to you, right? How can you have any trust in the society around you, right? How can you believe any piece of news media if they're not checking their sources? And even if they are checking their sources, it's getting to the point where it's so good, so believable, right?
Yep.
It's not like that the Will Smith eating spaghetti from like 5 years ago. Where he like his mouth's moving all over the place, spaghetti getting bigger and smaller and all that. It's not like that anymore. This shit looks real nowadays, right? That's why I can't even go on Instagram anymore. I used to like going on Instagram, seeing like cute cat videos and shit like that. When I caught the first one being 100% AI, I'm like, fuck, you just ruined my fucking hobby. Like I can't even watch cute cat videos because I don't know if they're real or not, you know?
Yeah.
And it becomes a very scary thing. AI in the hands of the wrong people, even if it's not perfect, it could be enough to, you know, spread misinformation, rile people up, you know? There was a recent story where it came out of Great Britain where someone misidentified, like there was some terrorist attack, right? And someone just went on Instagram and just straight up made up that they came from some specific mosque. Within an hour, there was like raging protest outside this mosque. The imam who was there, he was like, yo, we have no connection to this person whatsoever. He had to bring the BBC in. He's like, yo, we had no idea. It's just literally one asshole on the internet made one post. It went viral. And now our whole community is affected by it because they can't go to their mosque. And they had nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah.
So in a world where that kind of happens, where outrage can be like that, like having legitimately fake things that are generated by AI is so dangerous.
Yeah. And that goes to, I love people out there, but sometimes motherfuckers are stupid.
Yes.
Like, to me, I get it. Sometimes, you know, you might fall for the but as you get older and wiser, you got to really cross-reference stuff. You really got to triple-check things. Like, some people might just get it from one source and, oh, that's it. Like, no, if I see something, I'm going to multiple sources. Like, it depends. Like, if you go on Google, it might show you the right thing. It might show you something else, the same bullshit again multiple times. So that's why you got to really try to go to the fine source. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. But that situation with the mosque thing, that could have been avoided very easily. You could just probably look like, all right, if he goes to this mosque, does he have a picture over there? Is he praying over there? People just probably seen him say some shit that caught them that and the shock value, and they said, well, let's go protest. It's like, yo, bro, really checking if he's really from there, he's even part. So that's why I don't really jump the gun. And that's what the society is, jumping guns, just shoot first and ask questions later. And that's very sad and scary.
Absolutely. I mean, Google has the AI thing now, right? Where you type in a question into Google, the top result is always this Gemini thing giving you a summary, right? And I've caught it being like 100% wrong in the sense where like it gives you the link to the article, thank God, right? It's like, oh, I pulled the information from here and it says, I don't know, cranberries taste like oranges, right? And then you click on the link and it says cranberries do not taste like oranges, right? But because the AI isn't good at processing negatives, it just misread the situation, gave you false information, and now you out here telling people in the streets that cranberries taste like oranges, looking like an idiot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be something more subtle. There's someone that we both know that recently came up to me and she said, I read this chart online and it told me that for my blood type, pork is not good for me. So, you know, like you have like O positive, O negative, A, right? So I'm like, that sounds like it's almost scientific. Like maybe there's something there. Let's try to look into it, right? So of course I type it into Google, right? And then in image search, you see all these social media, Facebook posts from like mom groups and like, like baby groups, like, like, oh, if your baby has O positive, don't feed them pork, right? Yeah. It's all a bunch of Karens like clucking away at each other, right? Yeah. Thankfully, Google was right on this one. They said, no, there was one dude who made one book 20 years ago who made this hypothesis. Since then, it's been tested, retested, no proof of it coming out ever shown. But some people believe in moon crystals and like, like rubbing like, I don't know, crystals on your body to heal your cancer and shit. Yeah. Of course they're going to believe that, pork is bad for me. And now they're making life decisions based on some meme that they saw on some mom's Facebook group, right? Yeah. Like, yes, we all could benefit from additional critical thought and investigation. And it's more important now than ever.
Yeah, nah. And I get that too. Like, especially like I started like diving deep, like with blood types. I have a cousin that's a nutritionist, like one of the biggest nutritionists in Mississippi. And we have convos all the time. I told him I was like, yo, what's good with this blood type thing? He's like, yeah, it's a controlled type of thing, but you should just still eat healthy and this, that, and the third. But I'm like, they're just nitpicking what you should and to line up with your blood. He's like, listen, bro, just eat healthy, have a balanced meal. Make sure you get a lot of veggies and fruits and stuff like that. You could believe that if you want to, but just balance it out. And I was like, sounds about right. Just keep it simple. So, listen, sometimes I be checking that, sometimes I don't. But it's always good to have a lot of knowledge. But I always say, listen, some people need to really cross-reference and don't just always Google the stuff. I think there was an episode of a TV show. There was like, it was a doctor and it was a person, like they try to show that Google is as powerful as a doctor. I think it was St. Dennis. And then let's say a kid came with a cut. He was like, they said this cut is too big to put Neospine. He was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I should be taking your job if I'm right? He's like, and it was going back and forth pretty much that whole episode. And I was just laughing at it like, damn, is niggas thinking they're doctors because they went there, but then are doctors always right? That's another topic for a different day.
Absolutely.
That's a topic for a different day. We ain't gonna go on that because that shit is, woo, and it's a sensitive topic. Just like, this Epstein list. Listen, I seen this Epstein. I didn't even see the whole thing because, like I said, I believe just like body cams, those shits got edited and manipulated. So, but now, there was this movie that I seen when I was in college. I think it was said it on a different episode, but I knew about some type of Epstein list before it even came out, whatever, like the past 6 years, or it was talked about. So when the movie came out, I think it was like 2004 or 8, whatever, 2004, and they were talking about how wealthy, powerful men used to go to different countries in India and really go have sex with little kids for dirt cheap, like $1. Yeah. And I was like, there's men that do that in the India, the people that were there, they're powerful men. Yep. They're not like like a nigga that got jeans that's going out there. It's like, no, these niggas got suits. They have private jets. I was like, so yeah, this is a sick world. And that's what I always tell people, when you have kids, first thing you should do when they get old enough, put them in martial arts. Teach them a combat. Because one that teaches you how to control your emotions. Yeah. That's the first thing they teach you. Then if you apply that, they're going to teach you how to protect yourself and learn how to attack. And now let's say your kids could now deal with bullying. They could deal with so many other things other than just lashing out with emotions. And that's where that's why, when you're raised by a female or an emotional guy too, that's what could fuck up a kid. Like they just want to do everything with emotions. So that's why it's good to sometimes sit back and think and be like, is it worth it? So
It also teaches you discipline. You know,
Yeah.
having to go do the same thing multiple times a week for multiple years in a row. It's something that changes how you approach everything else in life, right? One of the problems that I had as a kid was that everything came too easy to me, right? Like, oh, because like when I went to school in Russia, the standards for math and science education were higher. I come here to America, I go to these classes, I already know all this shit, right? So I don't got to study, I don't got to do nothing, right? No homework, just come go to school, do some tests, right? So because throughout my formative years, like up until the age of probably like, I don't know, 10 or 11 or 12 or so, I never really had to try at anything, right? I never learned how to actually try. I never developed the discipline necessary to excel at something. I only learned enough to be good at math for a 12-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And as a result, that everything. I don't want to blame it on that, but it feels like everything else since then has been a struggle. It's hard for me to stay consistent. It's hard for me to say no to temptation. It's hard for me to not show up late to work, or not show up a little hungover or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because everything always came so easy for me. I didn't feel like I ever had to work for anything, and as a result, I've never really worked all that hard, right? And now I'm looking back at my life, in my mid-30s, thinking, damn, I missed a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
I look at my friends who are making boatloads of money. I'm like, well, yeah, they were good people that tried really hard and worked really hard,
Yeah.
and they did it for 20 years, and now they're here, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm just starting now. I'm starting, like day late, dollar short, right?
Wow.
So, and you don't know when that moment comes when you realize that you're a day late and dollar short until it hits you. I'm going to tell you that much, right? I was I'm going to go on a little tangent here if you don't mind.
ahead.
Yeah, and throughout my 20s, like I had like a very laissez-faire attitude towards work, education, women, school, everything, right? I didn't care. Like, like if I had enough money to survive, right? I didn't need a fancy car, I didn't need a fancy house, I didn't need this, I didn't need that. Not very materialistic, right? I don't need money that much. I'll make just enough money so I can live the life that I like, which is partying, hanging out with the boys, drinking, and then work just enough to cover that, right?
Okay.
Meet the person that is like my partner for life, right? Someone that I want to spend my life with. They'll have to vibe with who I am, and I have to vibe with who they are. So why would I change myself, right? They have to like me as who I am right now, right? And I'm sure that there's at least one person out there that exists, right?
Yeah.
Well, I found that person, right? Unfortunately, it turned out that she had 2 kids, right? So suddenly, not having enough money just for my own shit wasn't enough, because now you have these kids that you want to send them to a good school, you want to send them to college, right? You want them to wear nice clothes, you want them to be educated, have tutors for the things that they need help with, right? They get sick, you take them to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly I'm realizing, hey, that the fact that I bullshitted the past 10 years of my life, and my career and my salary is like, the equivalent of a college graduate when I'm in my early 30s or late 20s.
Yeah.
I'm starting off like a day late and a dollar short, and it's going to be almost impossible to catch up. And at that point, you start looking back at those 10 years, wishing that you didn't waste all that time partying, having fun, and all that. So, and just to bring it back full circle, if I had more discipline, if I wasn't always chasing temptation, if I wasn't so satisfied with the bare minimum, if I had the discipline to push myself to my maximum potential, I don't think I would have been in such a difficult spot when, the son had cancer or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nah, I get that, because sometimes, like, I remember back in those days, my brother and all of them would be like, yo, man, nigga, like, because I'm 6'2.5". Me and my cousin right now, we're going back and forth about, am I really 6'2"? He's like, no, nigga, you 6 foot. I was like, I'm like, dude, I'm 6 foot, I'm like 6'2.5". He's like, no, you're not. So that's been going on for like the past 2 weeks. But my brother always told me, like, nigga, you're like 6'2". You could have made it to the NBA. And he was telling me this at a young age, but I'm looking like, yo, but you have to dribble every day. You got to do this, this, and this. My mom's like, nah, nigga. And by the time he he tried to like turn that switch on, like, yo, this is possible, I was already like, what, 8th grade, maybe a freshman in high school. I'm super behind the curve. But then you have some people, but like you have those talented people like a Dwight Howard that was, let's say, 6'1", 8th grade year, 9th grade year, he comes 6'10". And then he just started playing basketball. Those Dennis Rodmans, those are freakish monsters.
Yeah.
But a nigga like me that's not that tall, you have to develop the skill and super quick.
Yeah.
In 3 years. In those 3 years, you got to be that great that you get noticed. That
While still going to high school.
And still going to high school. And I started realizing, like, yo, if I really had that discipline that I have now, I probably would have. if not be in the NBA, no, I'd probably been in the NBA because the way I'd be so locked in with just music, videos, and how much I even working out, how I look at something, I break it down so much with my eyes, like, okay, this is how they did it. Like even fast forward to watching movies. When I watch movies, I watch it with no sound. So majority of the time somebody was to walk in, they'll see me watching a movie, they'll be like, why aren't you listening to it? I'm like, for what? It doesn't matter what the fuck these actors are saying. They're going to get their Academy Award because they're great actors. But what the director's telling me without saying anything is more important. And people was like, okay, this nigga's weird. But then I started realizing, I'm like, I was the only one. Mac Miller used to do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I've been doing this for over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I recently found out Mac Miller did this like 2017 before he died. So, but yeah, I appreciate certain things. I love breaking things down. So if I would have known or had that discipline and those skills when I was younger, yeah, I probably would have been to the NBA that I have now. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And especially nowadays, people are bullshitting through stuff.
Yep.
So imagine if you work harder than them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's why I always appreciate like the Kobe's, the people that work super hard to be better every day. Like if a person is a one-trick pony, I do not entertain them. I do not want to be their fan. If the only thing you know how to do is dunk, I will not be your fan. That's why I love producers like the Pharrells and stuff like that. They do sing, they write for people, they do so many things. Like I'm not a fan of one-trick pony people because that gets boring. So yeah.
Agreed. And to your point, though, the fact that now you have this discipline, now you're grinding in a way that's different from the way you were before. I know I came off real harsh talking about being a day late and a dollar short before, but there's so many examples in history of people who did get their shit together, you know, in their 30s, 40s. One famous example is Alan Rickman. He played Snape in the Harry Potter movies.
Okay.
He played the terrorist in Die Hard, the main evil Hans Gruber, the German terrorist or Austrian or whatever. He landed his first role at 40, I think.
Wow.
His first like Hollywood movie role at 40 years old, right? He was doing something else before that.
Yeah.
What's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Went from being a bodybuilder, so he had the discipline, right? But his first movie role was also when he was in his 20s or 30s or something like that. Didn't even speak English.
Yeah.
Then he became the governor of of California, right? Like, how many lifetimes would it take you to achieve all the things that he achieved? And he managed to do it because of discipline. But what I'm trying to say is now that you have that, you can apply it and you will succeed. You just might get there a little bit later, a little bit earlier. But comparing to other people, it don't matter. Your life is your life. You know, other people, you can't control them.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, to me, even sometimes I be, like, looking at my little cousins and them, like, them niggas just come home, video games, go to sleep.
Yep.
I was like, damn, I was almost like that. But at least me, I was playing video games. I was fixing phones. Like, on the N64 controllers, I used to switch the backs out. I used to buy, like, steal phones. Oh, man, shit. I used to steal phones, too, bro. I used to rob niggas for phones. And I couldn't steal. Verizon and Sprint, two companies I didn't steal. Because them niggas had to get a laser ping pong, like, to activate your phone.
Okay.
But if it was like Boost Mobile, T-Mobile, and a couple other ones, you could take the SIM card out, AT&T and Singular. Yeah. You take the SIM card out, throw it away, put a prepaid or a different one. That's how I used to make hella money when I was younger. So what I'll do is I'll rob somebody's phone and then go online and buy a new casing for it. Now I'll switch out the case and sell it, no SIM card. Boom, right there, making money. So, you feel me? And I was doing all this before YouTube. Just think about that. Like, now you niggas got to go to YouTube, how to do this house casing and all that. Like, I was doing that shit back in those days. Fixing PS2, all that shit before YouTube. So, as I got older, I said, fuck that shit. You know, I'm going to apply these different methods and keep learning. And, bro, now, shit, in my studio, nigga, I done fixed everything. You see the vinyls and stuff like that. I done fixed everything that broke here before. Even I don't use YouTube. I go to YouTube for the last solution. Like, all right, I need help. But majority of the time, fuck nah. Hell no. So, yeah, and that's just real discipline. So, I tell my little cousins, I'm like, yo, bro, like, in high school, 10th grade year, I was in ROTC for 9th and 10th grade year. And then sophomore year, I had TV media class. And TV media class, that made me flip the switch. Like, I can do this. Because TV media class had, cameras and photos and stuff like that. You had to do little mini projects. And in TV media class, they had a beat machine and they had a studio. I was like, yo, I'm going to come here and learn all this shit. But I think it was God or the universe. There was a dude that stole the beat machine.
Oh, shit.
So I could never, ever learn to make beats. But I learned the software and I learned how to make videos and stuff like that. So once I got out of high school and I was winding down with the drug dealing, I was like, yo, if I was to get caught, or let's say if someone's like, yo, bro, take the money and flip into something, what would I do? I said, yo, I'd probably just build a studio. First thing I did, I bought myself a computer and a microphone. And I just kept building from there. And that stemmed from TV media. Learning that, loving that, and then as I got older, came a passion and became a super love, hobby, or whatever you want to call it. Now, shit, I just be creating. And now I created this podcast, I chop it up with my niggas. You got my nigga Art with me. You feel me? So that's how that is. So,
Yeah. One step at a time. Yeah. There's that saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Shit. This nigga got all these fucking
sayings. Yeah. No, they're useful, I think that's supposed to be a Chinese proverb or something, but it's so true, right? And another thing that you have to realize then is like you can't regret the things that you didn't have or the opportunities that you missed. That's all in the past. First of all, the past can't hurt you no more. It's not gonna wake up next to you tomorrow morning and slap you in the face, right? It's already gone. Like it's never coming back, right? So you have to focus on today, what you can do today. What can you do today to make tomorrow better? What can you do tomorrow to make tomorrow the day after better, right?
Yeah.
So plant that tree today. If you have a dream that you're pursuing or you thought about pursuing, start small and build from there. You said you started with a computer and one microphone. I'm looking around here. There's hella computers, microphones, screens, wires. And that doesn't happen overnight. Yeah, unless you're like a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, right? Yeah. And even then, you buy stuff as you need it, right? As you're exploring your creative side, what that means to you, you're like, oh, I do need this thing. I want this specific thing. What is this specific thing? You grow gradually. Yeah. A millionaire can buy a whole entire studio and then go in there not knowing anything, and then they will get bored within 5 seconds because I don't know how any of this works, right? Fuck this, I'm done. Now let's go find a new thing to do, right? But because it's your passion, you build it slowly. You learn alongside the growth of your passion. Yeah, and then you explore different opportunities, like you said, podcast, DJing, right? Beat making, everything.
Everything, yeah. No, that is totally true. Because I've seen so many people, DJ, build their own studio, and it's like, oh, I got the money to buy it. And when they buy it, they're like, oh, I'm like, what happened to it? Oh, I gave up. I'm like, nigga, let me buy it off you then.
Right.
And that's what it is. All right, here. And sometimes they'll give it. It's like, oh, all right. So that's what you got to do. You got to hang around these rich people that get bored quickly. And that's the way the world is. People get bored of shit real quickly. So, and that's how you flip shit too.
Yeah.
Shit, I used to buy stuff from people. They'll be like, I don't want this phone no more. I'm like, all right, yeah, I bought a new one. All right, how much you gonna sell this for? Give me your price. I'm like, nigga, whatever's in my pocket, I give it. It's good to know people. But hey, listen, I tell folks, man, what he said, when you plant a seed, man, just let that shit grow. Some people wish for instant gratification. Like sometimes that shit don't come quickly. Especially, I think they said that it was like, the reason why some people are millionaires and billionaires because they love something, they keep doing it over and over, and they get delusional until it finally happens. I said, ooh. I don't know too much about being delusional, but I get it. You feel me? You have a vision, you believe in it.
Yep.
And you just keep working towards it until it comes reality or until it finally happens. So stay locked in.
Not just that, but in the process of working towards something, you might find that your passion was something else all along. Right? But you wouldn't find that out if you weren't working towards this in the first place. So don't lay in bed thinking about, oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? Or I'm gonna, but then you never do, right? Start doing shit. And then along the way, even if it doesn't work out, you'll still gain something, right? Oh, yeah. You'll meet people. You'll learn something. You'll discover that, maybe you run into it to be a DJ, but then as you're doing it, you're like, yo, I could make a better song than this, and you start making your own beats, and then you're getting into that, and then as you're doing that, you team up with a piano player, and you're like, damn, that was dope, right? Then you learn how to play the keyboard because of the fact that you realize that is dope. I want to learn how to do that, right? You meet new musicians, and boom, your network grows, right? My friend who's a producer, he's like SoundCloud producer, right? Like not known huge or anything like that, but watching his musical journey, he's also deaf in one ear, by the way, so you can imagine how difficult that is for him, right? We used to crack jokes about him, call him DJ Mono because he only has
that's hilarious, DJ Mono.
Yeah, but when he first started, one of the first things he tried to do was learn how to play guitar. So I knew how to play a little bit of guitar. One of our other housemates knew how to play a little guitar. We helped him out a little bit. He learned a little bit, right? Didn't click, right? Like he put it down, right?
Yeah.
Before that, his mom tried to teach him piano, and she was a piano teacher, so he had the greatest opportunity, right?
Yeah.
He was always white knuckling it, so that didn't go either. Probably because his mom was the one teaching him, right? Now, fast forward 20 years, he's taking piano classes online because he found out that it's his passion. So he started off learning piano, then he tried to learn guitar, then he tried to do DJing, right? Yeah. And then he started doing production, and now he's on piano. You never know which journey you're going to take, but because he kept trying new things and kept putting effort into it, that's why he feels fulfilled with what he does, Oh, yeah, and that's super important, If you don't do anything, you will never feel fulfilled.
Yeah, and that's why people say enjoy the journey.
Yes.
And that's why I say, lock in and, keep doing what you have to do. Because trust me, there'll be times I'll watch episodes of the podcast while I'm rewatching it while I'm trying to edit. I'm like, yo, bro, this was a great topic. This was funny. This, that, and the third. I love it. I'm like, I can't wait to the next episode. Now you know what I mean? So it's that whole keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, when I first started DJing, at a point, how I got... So this is a story, right? So I used to work at telling you it's multiple stream income. So I used to sell, I used to be the delivery guy for a pizza spot. And I used to sell drugs at the same time. So it was so easy because I'm always going in and out. And that's cool because I got to deliver or, if there ain't nothing to do, I just go serve someone.
Yeah, yeah.
So at the end of the shift, they'll just give a hell of a bunch of pizza, right? So I was like, yo, bro, I already got my studio, but I still got my feet in the motherfucking streets. I said, yo, I need something I said, let me start trying to DJ because I'm good at my studio, but I want to, get my music out there because I'm making music, but where am I going to play it at? SoundCloud and YouTube is cute, but you want the live reaction from folks. So I said, I got to get back into DJing. So then I remember I had 3 boxes of pizza. I said, yo, I need to go to different places and somewhat bribe people. So I went to, I'm not going to name none of these places. Fuck all of them. So,
Heard.
So I went to this one strip club and I seen my boy DJ Yours Truly. Shouts out to him. Went up to him. I was like, yo, dude, I'm trying to DJ and stuff like that. He looked like, and I was like, yo, bro, I got a box of pizza. Oh, yeah, bring that, dude. I'm fucking high as hell and shit, bro. The fuck? All right, so you want to DJ? Hey, how about this, bro? I go on vacation. This is. Yo, I need somebody to fill in for me. So fuck it, you could do it. I was like, word? He's like, yeah. I was like, yes, to the pizza. So then I started covering his shift. So that same day, I went to a different strip club. I walked in, security was like, yo, what's that? I was like, it's a pizza box. You're like, the fuck you about to do with this? Do you want some? Hell yeah, I'm hungry as hell. I was like, all right, yo, come inside. I'm about to go talk to the DJs and offer some pizza too. He's all right, cool. So he walks me in there. He's like, yo, DJs, this nigga brought pizza. He want to talk to y'all. I open up the pizza, exotic pizza. So many exotic pizza. These niggas are like, yo, we were just about to order food. Like, we was deciding. I was like, yo, here's some food. They was like, what's up? I was like, yo, I'm just trying to DJ. They said, yo, you good people. Listen, I want to hear you play. Come back 2 days from now. Came back 2 days from now. The nigga was like, yo, you have a great playlist. You know music and all that, but you just don't know how to blend. He said, yo, I'm going to teach you. And he taught me. Been the great for ever since. So that goes back to, yo, from me saying, yo, for me, I made these beats. I made these songs. I know how to get it in front of people. Now I got connections with these people. Now I'm playing my songs in front of people. So all that all connected is networking, bribing somewhat. You know what people want.
Doing
Niggas is
favors.
doing favors. You know what I mean? So I had to use what I had. I had food, I had a brain, and then boom. You know, so yeah, it's really networking and, you know, doing what you have to do. So yeah, shouts out to the hustle.
I noticed that you brought up networking again. And I think that is something that's super important to talk about because you know the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yeah.
Because we were talking earlier about how AI applications, right? You know what? Want to know what's the best way to make sure that a person sees your application to a job? If you know the person, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you know the person that works at that company, right? Someone to vouch for you, right? Your application will get viewed, right? You'll say, "Hey, I'm applying for this job. Can you like talk to your peoples, right?"
Yeah.
And now suddenly you're standing out on top of a pile of 100 resumes. You're gonna be the first one that they look at. If they like that person, they'll probably even at least give you an interview, you know what I mean, just to see where it's at, right? Best way to get noticed. So in that case, you might, if you're the perfect candidate, but you don't know anyone in there, they might not even get to your resume because someone who knows somebody got their resume on top of the pile, and then they get put into that spot. So, and the other people, and I mean like actually meet people. I'm not talking about like, online, shitting up forums and like Reddit and Discord and all that. I mean like actually meeting people and getting to know them unless you leave your house.
Oh yeah.
So many people sit at home laying in their bed watching Netflix, depressed, dirty ass room, right? And wondering why their life sucks, right? Well, maybe it's because you're not doing anything with your life. You don't meet anybody. You're not meeting interesting people. You're not getting involved in interesting things, right?
Yeah.
So go out there, do shit, meet people, and learn and network. Absolutely network.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shit, there was this one time I told you earlier how I was like the people that gave me a tickets were black officers, right? So there was one time I'm at this brunch, and I met the owner of the DJ company. He's fucking drunk or high. He's not. They always tell you at nighttime or when someone's under the influence, their business mind really shuts off.
Yeah.
You don't. That's why there's a 9 to 5 to talk business. But at a certain time, their brain shut off. So he's drinking and all the coke, all that. He's all fucked up. So then I speak to like one of the managers over there. It's a white guy. He's probably like mid 40s, probably, or late 30s, mid 40s. So we're up there, and I talk to him like, "Yo, bro, I'm a DJ. This, that, and the third," and I'm saying all that stuff. He's like, you see his eyes light up, like, "Yo, we need new blood in here because the people are stagnant. The DJ's like, he's expressing that, and his eyes open, like, yo, I got you, no problem." He's like, "Yo, take down my information." Then his partner comes up, a black guy, boyhead. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck's going on here?" I was like, "Nah, yo." He was like, "Yo, dude, he's a DJ. I'm about to take his information. I'm gonna have him join the team." He's like, the black guy looks me up and down. He said, "What type of music you play?" I said, "I play all type of music. Top 40, hip hop, whatever makes the crowd move, reggaeton." He's like, "Really, what type of music do you play?" Top 40, reggaeton, hip hop, whatever makes people move. He's like, "Yeah, don't take his number. Hey, listen, bro. Yeah, we'll if we see you around again, bro, we'll talk to you." I'm like,
The fuck?
and his homeboy looked disappointed, like, "What the fuck you doing?" He's like,
Right.
"Yeah, you know what I mean. We don't know him." Like, and then he's like, "Man, fuck him. But hey, bro, just come around when he's not here." I was like, "All right, bro, whatever," and just left from there. So I'm like, "Damn, bro, this nigga's really doing some Sambo shit." Like, "Oh yeah, nah, I'm the only token here. Like, we don't need other tokens here." You know what I mean? And that happens quite a few times, bro.
That's fucked up.
It was really fucked up, nigga. Shit, that even happened with bitches. Well, maybe not a black person. I remember this was at the bar. Me and my boy Louis. You probably seen my boy Louis, but you probably like never got formally introduced. And predominantly white. So there was only 2 niggas there. There was probably a third nigga, and he was the boy that cleans, like the janitor.
Okay.
So we're out there chilling. 2 white girls come up to hot white girls. Come up to us, we talking, they dancing on us, stuff like that. And then we're back to talking. We just finished getting a shot. And then these like 6 white boys surround us. They grab the girls aggressively, like, "Get the fuck over here." So I'm thinking like, oh shit, that's their boyfriend. Like, oh fuck, they got caught. I was like, oh well.
Yeah.
That ain't my fault. You know what I mean? She should have told me she had a boyfriend. So you see her fighting back, like, get the fuck off me. And you're trying to read lips, but it's not the lips. You can't read it too much. But this is like I'm saying, you watch movies muted, you get to see body language.
Yeah.
So you see the discomfort in both of the females. They're like, get the fuck off me. And you're looking. The music's too loud. I can't really read lips. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But me and my boy's like, nah, this is not our fight. Let's just see how it plays out. Like 16 seconds to 30 seconds later, when we come back, I was like, what does your boyfriend say? That's not my boyfriend. I don't even know who the fuck they are. They told us, why the fuck you with those niggers over there? They don't even fucking know us. Like, they was just like saying all that shit, like, yo, leave them the fuck alone. You don't know what they're gonna do. They're black, this, that, and that. It was like, yo, dude, one, I don't even know you, so why should I trust you over them? At least I actually spoke to them to even know them more than I know you. And you're trying to prevent me from them. I was like, oh shit. And then those dudes, they seen us. They seen that the bitches wanted to stay. The dudes got mad and walked away.
Yeah.
They weren't going to do nothing because we're two niggas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a fuck if it's 6 of them. I already got a bottle in my hand. My boy's calves muscles the size of my fucking whole arm. Like, this nigga calves muscles is crazy. And he seen it. He was like, nah, it don't matter if we're outnumbered. I seen what those people can do. So.
No, that's just that. But I mean, first of all, the guys, even if let's assume that they are racist, even then they wouldn't have done that if it was two not pretty girls, right? If it was two ugly girls, they wouldn't have cared, right?
At all.
They wanted it for themselves, and they wanted to create the kind of scenario where they come out as, like, knight in shining armor type, right? So, like, it's so petty and transparent, like, any person that works on is not someone that I want in the first place, right?
For sure.
It's people are disgusting out here, ridiculous.
Trust me, man. I be shit like that. It pisses me off a little bit because it's like, damn, y'all really still have these old weird mindsets. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, like, you listen to our music, you delve in our culture, but you still have this weird mindset. And it's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Oh yeah, well, no, they enjoy the things you produce, but they want to keep you out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean?
Shit. And that's sad because I be saying that to myself, but I'm like, damn, is it really like that? But then I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's not always like that.
Not always.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's those folks.
Yeah, like we said before, there's always an asshole, right?
Yeah. And that, but that's the stuff that I deal with, when it comes to racism stuff and shit like that. But it's like, I always say, like, even recently, right? I went to a Jewish supermarket. Man, that was the most awkwardest thing. Like, sometimes I'll go to Whole Foods. I think, oh, I'm just paranoid because I'm a nigga. I'm paranoid. You see people, like employees, just start coming to the aisle for no reason, and it's not even their department. They'll start touching things, or not even touching things. They'll just start looking up, and we catch them looking at you. I'm like, damn. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, it's just me. So then one day, one of the shorties that I know, she came from D.C. In D.C., I think where she's from is predominantly black. So their Whole Foods is nothing but black employees. So black employees might not follow the black customers. So she came to the one in Clark. So she's in Clark just trying to get something. She said, yo, is it me or I felt like someone's following me? I'm on the phone with her. It's like, yo, everywhere I fucking go, people are just looking at dumb shit, doing pointless jobs, and it just keeps looking at me. I was like, and she was like, I just kept like acting like I didn't know what's happening. I'm like, really? This is really happening? She was like, nah, it gotta be just me. I was like, yeah, it's probably just you. You're probably paranoid. And she's watching. She was in there for like 10 minutes looking for ice cream. Because it's a particular ice cream. They did have it, but it was like super in the back and dusty, like frostbites and all that shit. So when she finally came out, I was like, yo, that happens to me all the time. She was like, what the fuck? In DC, this doesn't happen because we're all black. I said, well, this ain't DC, bitch. Yeah, so it be like that, And like I said, so when I went to the Jewish supermarket, bro, nigga, I remember I was walking. I don't know if they tried to sniff me or somehow I thought like, you know how when people were sick, they be like, or like, but he was on the phone and he walked past me. I was like, this nigga just sniffed me?
What the fuck? But
I was like, you know what? Like I said, in my mind, I'm a little paranoid. This is their environment. when I mean everyone kept looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? There's 3 minorities there. There was another black guy. He had a whole mask on, like a whole poo shiesty. Then there was this Indian guy. I could tell he was like retarded or something like that. Retarded is not the word. Let me retract the word. He was special.
Disabled.
He was disabled.
Yeah.
And I was the 3rd one. Those 2 were employees. I'm just a customer. So they just look in. They just shocked. I'm like, damn, I never seen a black person. Y'all live in Linden.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing but niggas up and down. Our school is next to our mosque.
Right.
Or whatever it's called. So y'all see nothing but us. But to see me in there, it was just so weird. Then at a point, like let's say there was a space between me and probably 2, 3, maybe like 4 feet was the aisle end cap. Yo, dude, people got so close to me, they were bumping into me. I'm like, dude, the aisle end cap is about 4 to 5 feet away. You have enough room that you don't have to bump into me. And like, couple dudes bumped into me. I was like, if you react like a nigga
Yep.
and say, what the fuck are you doing? It's over. You don't know what they might say to the cops. You don't know what they might do to you.
And all of them in the store would be like, aha, thought so.
Yeah.
He's just like the rest of them.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, but I think one of the older guys, he felt that people were like, I don't know if he felt it or he just wanted me to leave. He said, yo, do you want to cut in front of me? Because I only had 2 items.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I have so many items. You could just go. I was like, no, you're good. He started looking around. He started seeing. He's like, trust me, just go in front of me. So now I get to the register. It's a young guy. It's probably early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I'm like, hey, what's going on? How's your day going? He doesn't even look at me. I'm like, okay. I assume your day's going good. All right. He barely wants to scan my items. He barely wants to take the items from me. I put it down on the counter for him. So I was all right. So he looks forward and tries to scan without looking at me. I said, all right, no problem. So then, like I told you, the Indian guy, that's what we call him special. What we call him. So he like, hey, buddy, are we closing today at 11? And then the guy's ignoring him. Mind you, he's right next to him. He's less than a foot away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He's the bag boy. Hey, buddy, are you closing at 11 today, right? He's still ignoring him. I was like, I Googled it. I was like, don't y'all close at 11 today? The Indian guy's like, yeah, we close at 11 then. There goes your answer, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Then the guy was like, I think it was 3408. I was like, all right, here. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to give you a big bill. I'm giving you $35. I gave him $35. He barely wanted to take the money from me. Like this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God. So then I gave him the money. He gives me the change at high as hell. Dropped it. I was like, where's my receipt? I was like, I grabbed the receipt out of the receipt machine.
Mm-hmm.
I just walked out.
Yeah, fuck him.
I was like, God damn, like I really gonna. But when I watch and hear stuff on social media, how the Jewish, it's not, they hate black people. They think everybody is the same. That's not part of them. So
Goyim.
Goyim.
Yeah,
there you go. So to me, I have no problem with them. I'm still gonna go shop up there. I'm just gonna send a decoy.
What do you mean by send a decoy?
I'm gonna send someone that's white or Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know a lot. I know some Jewish people that go in there, get it for me, and come back out. I'll watch them too. But yeah, fuck that. Because if y'all make me feel that awkward, you know what I mean? Like, imagine, let's say I go there multiple times. They be like, oh, he keeps buying this. Let's do something to it.
Mm.
But if I send a decoy, or I send a Jewish person that I know, they might not do it because they might speak the language. Abraham. And they might be like, all right, you're cool, you go. I don't know, but I listen, I have no hate for nobody. Only people that I would probably hate or dislike if they do something to me. But I'm not going to dislike someone because of their skin or the nationality or whatever. It's like if you do something to me, that's when I would build that dislike towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But not just off of looking at you. That's wild.
I'm hesitant to compare your experience to mine because obviously we have different experiences and yours are definitely going to be more universal as in kind of like almost every place you go type thing, as opposed to where I have one specific instance in mind. I was living in Virginia, Southwest Virginia, in Roanoke. I was working at a temp agency, and they sent us to this factory in Blacksburg. That's where, yeah, funny that, right? Yeah, but it's also where the Virginia Tech is, by the way. So, but anyway, so it's a factory, right? We get there, right? And within the first day, I realized that in this massive facility, I'm one of 3 white people, and the other, like, one of them is some guy who's like 60 years old and works in the corner by himself. The other one is the white girl that drove me there, and she just does labels, right? Like, so they just put her on the sticker machine, and she just does stickers for 11 hours a day, right? Wow. Whereas for me, they're like, oh, they see I'm the youngest person there, definitely the whitest person there, right? Literally everyone else is black. Literally everyone, right? And the guy who was he wasn't my direct manager, but he was like several steps above, right? Okay. He was the guy that walks around, makes sure everything okay, right? Yeah. He didn't like me from day one, right? Why? Because, well, first of all, he's short and black, right? So he's definitely gonna be mad a little bit, right? Napoleon complex. Yeah, Napoleon complex, right? At first, I thought it was just that, right? It's when he started making my life impossible, like basically trying to force me to quit. Like, so at one point, like my job was to make boxes. What making boxes is, they give you flat boxes. Yep. You fold them together so they make a square. You stuff the things inside. You put them on the table so that the people on the line, they can grab the box, close it up and fill it up and close it and put it on the line, right? So I was making the boxes, and whenever I would get a surplus, he would make me run to the end of the line and start palletizing the boxes after they're done, putting them on a pallet. And I would be running back and forth, making boxes, palletizing boxes, making boxes. That's wild. I was doing 2 people's jobs, right? Only person in the entire factory doing 2 jobs. Why? Why is it me, right? And this continues. Like, he keeps trying to find different ways to fuck with me, right? He made me do the dumpster. So you can imagine it's like 100 degrees outside. It's a dumpster that is like with a semi-open, semi-closed door, and it's all food stuff. And it's all food stuff that they pick up like once a week. So you can imagine what it smells like in there with all the like rotting cheese and all that shit, right? I had to take one of them, you know, like the masks that we all wore, like those nurses' masks. I would rub deodorant on the inside so that I would be able to survive in there. I did that for a month. After that didn't break me because I needed the money, he put me on the breading machine. By that point, I'm about like probably like 5'10", 5'11" or so, right? I weighed 145 pounds, and I was lifting 50-pound bags over my head into a breading machine like this, 11 hours a day, right? Wow. And that didn't break me, right? So eventually, he just started straight up cursing at me, like he called me a cracker a couple of times, right? He was like, yo, move over, cracker, like shit like that, right? So one time, right? I was on cardboard duty, pushing a cart of cardboard. He was walking in front of me, right? And I'm walking behind him. I'm giving him plenty of room, right? It's not like I'm like tailgating him, right? All of a sudden he stops. I stop, right? Because I'm paying attention. I'm not trying to piss him off, right? He already fucking hates me, right? At this point, it's already like 5 months into this process, right? I tell you, he turns around and like he did like a jumping, like as if he's like a lunger, like he was about to sprint in my direction. Wow. Runs into the cart that I'm holding, right? Like, because he wasn't looking, he turned around and started running without looking, right? Ran right into my cart, right? He pushes it to the side and he says, "Why the fuck did you hit me with your cart?" Right? And at that point, I lost it. I was like, all right, you know what? This is how he's gonna get me to lose my job, right? Is by saying that I hit him with the cart. I said, "Hey, fuck you," right? I kicked the cart over to the side. All the cardboard spilled out. I threw my what's called my vest off, right? And went to the break room. I was like, I'm waiting until the end of the shift, right? Fuck that, right? About an hour later, right? Things cool off, right? He comes into the break room. He's like, "Listen, man, I'm sorry. I realized I've been, pushing a little bit too hard. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Apologize, right?" We dapped it up. We were good, right? Didn't talk shit to me after that, right? But for like 4 months, it was like sustained harassment and racism, and no one around me is going to help. First of all, he's the manager. Second of all, they're all black, right? So they have no reason to feel any sort of unity with me, 18-year-old white boy, mop top, like looking like I just came from the beach type shit, right? So, like, that experience really showed to me what it's like to be that odd person out in a society where I'm used to being the majority, right? Especially coming from Russia. Like, I didn't see a black person until I was 6 years old, I think, right? And at that point, they were walking down the street and there was like a circle around them where like no one's walking even close to them, right? There's like 10 feet in front of them, 10 feet behind them. Black person walks on the street by themselves, basically. Everyone else walking in a bunch, them by themselves, right? And I didn't know what that felt like until I worked there. So even though I might not experience this as often as you or as severely as you, I definitely can empathize and sympathize with what you're going through. It's ridiculous.
You don't got to be in the exact environment, but as long as you experience it, that's all that matters. Even if you experience one time, like, you don't have to experience it 1,000 times, but like, oh, you're accepted. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, Yeah, like picking on people, dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
That's just to me that's whack. Like,
Small-minded people.
yeah, nah. Listen, I don't like if a person is. I always tell them if you're gonna be a bully, all right, you're gonna be a bully. You're gonna find that right one that's gonna fuck you up. Because the only thing bullies are is just try to pick on the little people they think they could beat.
Yep.
Until you find that North Korean motherfucker.
Yep.
That ain't going for your shit. Ain't gonna fuck you up, and then you be like, all right, fuck. Like that's why like back in those days, you know, people used to tussle. You know, then they came to the knives, then the guns, and shit got out of hand. But what made me realize, yo, I don't think it's really worth fighting anybody. Like
Hell no.
Because, you know, a lot of people now, like I used to do Aikido and Muay Thai. I remember one time, there was this one dude, I ain't have no beef with him, but he had issues with me because the girl that he liked, I don't want to say she liked me, like she liked me because I'm cool, but I don't think it was on some sexual shit. You know what I mean? It was just like, I like him because we talk, this, that, and third. But I didn't see it as fuck you. And now her cousin, her cousin was in, I think, Warway. Man, every time I used to see her cousin, we were young. If she was on lockdown. If she wasn't on lockdown, I'd probably binge smash. And, you know, she know that shit. But, So
his girl was like the stepping stone that you were looking at. Like you weren't even looking at her that way.
I'm not even
but
looking
he's insecure, so he's taking that out on you.
So there'll be times like I'll be playing basketball. Like I said, I'm in the RCC, so I'm playing basketball. She'll come, be like a cheerleader or whatever, and he'll always be around her. And like that. So one day I'm like, yo, dude, he's walking like, yo, can you get off her dick? Like my nigga, you up her ass. I was, because she was like feeling like, yo, yeah, you are doing too much. Like, you're too much under me. I was like, but the thing about it, he was a big dude, but I started stoning him so badly. Like, I stoned him so badly. It was like terrible. I mean, it was bad. Like the first sergeant, petty officer, everybody was laughing at him.
Damn.
Like, it was that bad.
Jesus Christ.
So he got so mad.
Of course.
And he started charging at me. My first sergeant seen it. He pulled me to the side. He was like, yo, bro, I get it. I get everybody's side, but he's explaining to me everything like, yo, probably likes her, yo, and he shouldn't be mad. But, you know, he was just, other than the scope of view I was looking at, he gave me everybody's scope of view. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And I realized that. So then years later, me and him became cool.
Yeah.
And he told me about it. And I was like, yeah, I figured that. And I didn't tell my first sergeant. But then that brings me back to this point. He was like, nigga, he's a black belt in Muay Thai. So if he would have caught me, nigga, he would have put me in the craziest pretzel I'd probably be stuck in to this day. To this day.
Yeah.
So we became cool. He started teaching me Muay Thai and stuff like that. And I got older. That's when I started getting into Aikido. And once I get into Aikido, I'm starting to look at people. You see regular Joe Schmoes. This sensei senpaus. Those are high-ranking motherfuckers. I seen one of my senseis. He was one of the 20 doctors that made Viagra.
Yeah.
Indian guy.
Nigga,
he'll flip you just by moving 3 fingers.
Then
You'll look at some of these people, like the people that come to the bar, like Danny and his name is actually Danny.
Yeah.
But you will see them. Imagine those two, but they're fucking black belts. So I was like, yo,
can't judge a book by its cover.
You can't judge a book by its cover. You think like, oh, I'm about to go fuck this person up. You don't know what they know.
Facts.
So yeah, that's why I be like, shit, y'all good. Y'all good. Y'all got it. Shit.
Oh, furthermore, the reality is that it takes one punch to kill a person. You know what I mean? You hit them in the chin the right way. They hit the back of their head on the concrete. That's 2 impacts. The concussion turns into a coma, and then 3 weeks later, you're in prison, right?
In prison.
And for what? Was it worth it? Like, I don't remember so many. Like, if you're protecting someone else, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
If you guys are just beefing over some dumb shit at a bar, just walk away, dude. Like, it's not worth the rest of your life. You got too much to lose to be getting into all these scraps with people over dumb shit. This one guy, he was probably like in his late 50s, right? Fat, short, right?
Yeah.
I put my name up to play pool. He comes up with the eraser, erases my name. Never talked to him before in my life. Never even seen him before, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, you can't do that, right? I put my name back up.
Yeah.
He erases it again. I'm like, all right, now we're fucking scrapping, right? And obviously, I had a couple of drinks, right? I was like, all right, let's go outside, right? We're going outside. Manager of the bar catches me right before we leave. He's like, bro, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just kicks out the other guy. I was like, I started getting a little emotional. I was telling him, like, yo, I was really about to just throw my life away over someone erasing my name on a chalkboard. You know what I mean? At any point in time, yeah, pride is like, I try not to be too proud, right? But that's like a clear affront to your, like, you know, that's saying you ain't shit.
Yeah.
I'm playing instead of you type shit, right? Like, yeah, it got me heated real quick, right? But one moment of getting heated could have been a lifetime of being in prison, right? Like, it's not fucking worth it.
Not at all. Like, there's times like there was this one time, I can probably say it's my fault, but like me, when I DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I, like, certain spots, like, especially like the spot I'm at right now, I'm not saying their name, but when I first started coming there, you know, I make fun of people a little bit. I compliment them a little bit too. You know, it depends on what outfit you have on. You might get stoned. You might get a compliment. But the stoning ones hurt, I guess, people a little bit too much. So then I say, you know what? I ain't gonna create enemies. I want people to come here and feel good about themselves. So now I just give out compliments.
Yeah.
Give out compliments, no stoning. And if I do stone someone, it'll be so minuscule, like, you know, it's not like how I used to go in.
Or someone you know.
And it's gonna be somebody that I know.
Yeah.
So like one time, like one of my people, Charlie, I had Charlie up there, and I forgot what I said. It wasn't even that serious. I think I said, Charlie, listen, I'm about to play this song. You better not twerk, because he loves twerking.
Yeah.
And he started laughing. He's like, I'm still twerk and stuff like that.
That was a perfect imitation, by the way. That was too good, dude. Sorry, continue.
So he's like, I'm still going to twerk. I was like, all right, whatever. You're going to twerk over the other direction. And then only thing he hears a dude next to him, yo, leave Charlie the fuck alone. Everybody's like,
yeah.
I was like, what? And mind you, earlier that week, I went up to Charlie and I go up to like all the people that might be gay and that might be offended. I go up to them like, yo, did I offend you guys? Because some people say that I offended you. So I'm going to come directly to you.
Yeah.
They was like, no, you didn't offend me. And if you would offend me, you know how to pull up and talk to you. You're right. Because I told you, anyone feels the way, please talk to me. You know, I'm an open book. They was like, yeah, nah, you good. I laugh every time you say these jokes. So that was 2 days before this situation. So now this nigga's like, leave Charlie the fuck alone. I looked at him like, excuse the hell out of me. He was like, it was like that Will Smith shit. Leave my wife's fucking name out your mouth. I look like, I'm not Chris Rock, nigga. I'm not Chris Rock. So then I got on the mic. I said, why are you defending Charlie like that? I'm like, everybody in here knows Charlie, but you're the only one that's defending him like you his lawyer. Or unless you fucking Charlie, that's why you defending him.
Oh,
This
shit.
nigga lost it. Everybody started laughing. You just hear the uproar. This nigga lost it. He started charging towards me. I'm like, you're a little upset. Did I touch a nerve? Is this really actually true? I was like, okay. So he's charging against me, security holding him back and all that. I was like, listen, dog, I could easily just take this bottle. I could go in my bag, get the knife that I got. I could go to my car, get the gun. There's so many things. If I leave this building, something can happen to you. Security's like, yo, D, do not leave here. I was like, nah, I'm going to give him everything he wants. He said, yo, bro, I'm security. I'm here to protect you. Make sure nothing happens to you. Just chill.
Yep.
So I chilled. You know, probably like a week or two later, his people started coming up to me because I'm cool with everybody. His family's like, yo, bro, y'all need to go talk that out, bro. Because, nigga, we came to this bar because of you. We love you. We fuck with you. We know that, you know what I mean, he was wrong for out here sticking his neck out for a person that you no longer. There's like, yo, just talk that shit out with him. So he came up. He was like, my bad. And all that. We talked, took a shot together. And it's been cool since.
Yeah.
You feel me? So.
I get where he was coming from, but also Charlie, he can defend himself. If he knew who Charlie was, you know what I mean? Like Charlie, he can speak on his own behalf quite comfortably too, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't gotta get offended for other people. That's like you said, putting your neck out. Sometimes it's not necessary, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now there are situations where it is necessary. I don't think that's one of them, you know what I mean? Like the thems were not fighting words in the first place, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, for sure. Shit, no, you know what? There was one time this never happened on to me, but I see no what I seen this quite a few times on the internet and in real life,
Mhm.
and it both happens. It's happened the same way both times. There was a man beating his girl. It happened both ways. So when I seen it in there,
Mhm.
man beating his girlfriend, then you have a superhero nigga try to run up and start beating up the boyfriend. Like, yo, stop fucking beating this bitch. Mind you, he's beating the girl. She's on the floor or in the corner, just body blows, trying to brace herself.
Mhm.
This nigga comes out, starts beating up the boyfriend. And you know what the girlfriend does? Other than running,
Starts fighting the guy that tried to save her. Yep. Yep. You got involved.
and now they jumping him.
Yep.
The boyfriend gets back like, oh, I'm saved now. And they start jumping that nigga.
Yeah.
And then the nigga in the one nigga on the on the phone, he ended up getting jumped. The other nigga ran away like, yo, what the fuck, bitch? I'm trying to help you.
Yep.
So one person got lucky, got away safe. The other person got stomped out.
Yeah.
So yeah, sticking your neck out sometimes, man. Just call the cops. Hey, listen, I see a bitch getting beat up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let them handle it sometimes.
Yeah, especially here in Jersey, right? No castle doctrine. You know, you're supposed to run away from basically any threat.
Yeah.
Home invasion, they want you to walk out the back door.
Yeah. Shit, that's just stupid.
Yeah, well,
That's just stupid.
society.
Yeah, because California, they say if a person turns their back, you can't shoot them.
Yeah.
Nigga, let's say if he just no, I'm blowing the nigga back out easily, bro. Like, cause one, if okay, if I lived in the house by myself and stuff like that, but nigga, if you got kids there and stuff like that, now you know that's why people develop. I came in this one time, the security line didn't go up. I'm gonna come back again. No, you teach that nigga the lesson.
Yeah. Who's to say he's not going back to his car to get a bigger gun?
The bigger,
Why give him the opportunity to do that?
yeah,
Now, there's a difference, right? You know, like if it's at your house, that's one thing, right? If it's on the street, you know, someone says some shit to you, starts walking away.
yeah,
All right, fuck it, fine, right?
yeah.
Fine, right? But when it's at your house where your family's at, nah, I don't care. Like no law can tell me what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do or not do.
Yeah, facts. I'll deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
Because there was a football player, I forgot his name, but I think he used to play for the Chiefs or whatever, and I just seen his daughter. But a home invader came in there and killed him. And he tried to protect his family.
Mm-hmm.
Now his daughter was like, 2 years old? Now she's like 22. And it sucks because now she's growing up without a father because he tried to protect his family.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks, you know what I mean? Let's say if he would have stayed alive and he'd have killed that person,
Yeah.
you know, he'd have probably been in jail.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Especially he's an NFL player, his family would have probably sued him for every dollar he had.
Yep.
Other than saying, well, my son was bad, he tried to do a home invasion. It's like, nigga, what you call a hole? Well, now we're making $5 million. Like, they can sue you if they're breaking in your house. You're supposed to give them the opportunity to run. What?
Yeah.
Like, even just like when the criminals, it's like that's why I fuck with the South, because they could carry guns.
Yeah.
My cousin says, yo, in North Carolina, he said no one honks each other. Because you know why? Road rage, and the person get out the car, pull out their gun, they just start exchanging
Yep.
bullets. He said none of that rah-rah shit up here. That rah-rah shit is just up here because no one has guns.
Yeah.
And the people that do have guns, they only use it for a particular reason. They ain't gonna pull out a gun and shoot somebody for road rage. Like, nah, they're there to protect them. Now, if the person gets out the car with the bat or whatever, I'm shooting them in his big toe. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. People's cultures, their mindsets, it's changed where your environment is. People are probably comfortable, like we said earlier, how those chicks that'll come from here, go to Dubai and yell at people, go straight to jail.
Yep.
Bitch, you're not even supposed to have your face out.
Yeah.
Let alone if they allow you to have your face and you're more disrespectful on top of that. Shit. So yeah, bro, that's why you gotta know your environment and realize, listen, your objective is to go where you gotta go and make it back home safely.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. Nigga might call me a bitch. Oh, well, you didn't go fight him. Listen, I'm gonna beat up my own security guard. And then after I'm done beating him up, now I gotta go fight another fight? The fuck, this ain't a Bruce Lee movie, nigga.
Right.
I'm just like, it's cool. It's cool. Certain situations could be handled like men. And some you got to shoot it out. But for the most part, the majority of the time, let it just be like men and just talk it out. Or just, we don't got to be around each other.
And furthermore, the way that people treat you is a reflection of them, right? If you're not walking around calling people bitch this, bitch that, right? Like, what do you think of people who do that? Why are they being so loud? Why they gotta always put other people down? Why they try to be so tough? What are they hiding, right? And that's not just you. Just because you're the one that got called bitch, everyone around them is thinking like, what the fuck's up with this guy, right? You want to lower yourself down to his level, or you want to just let him look like a fool, you know?
Facts.
He must not have a lot to lose if he's putting his neck out like that.
Yeah. Ooh, facts. And a lot of people don't understand that. And the Boondocks used to be like, it's called a nigga moment. If a nigga scuff your shoe and a black coach, you got to fight him. I remember one time a black dude stepped on a white man's shoe in the show, and they made a suspenseful moment. And then the white guy was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just get another shoe or go clean it. And the black guy was like, you're not going to throw your life away for the shoes? He was like, no, I'm white. And he just walked away. I was like, that's hilarious. But yeah, but certain things, you know, you don't have to go there because at the end of the day, it is jail cells. They're building them every day.
Yeah.
And nigga, I remember they said, nigga, like Max B and them niggas said, you're in the jail cell for 23 hours. You come out for an hour. And then let's say if you're in the jail cell with someone, a nigga's shitting right in front of you. You got to smell that. Nigga, once if somebody takes a shit and I walk in right after and I get pissed off.
Yeah.
Now imagine I got to sleep through this shit or, you know.
Well, the proper thing to do is you're supposed to wait for that 1 hour and then everyone runs to the bathroom so you don't shit at home, right?
Yeah.
But especially when it's like your first couple of days in, you know what I mean? You don't got your body regulated to that yet, you know what I mean? So, and what are you going to do? You're going to scrap with the dude because he took a dump, right? Yeah. I mean, people do that, though, obviously, right? But, yeah, it's not a great place to be, and you don't want to be there. So even if you don't get life in prison for murdering someone by accident, right? Even if you do just get a couple years, still not fun. That factory that I worked at in Southwest Virginia, right? So when I got put on that breading machine, the one that had 50-pound bags, right? There's two of them. The other guy, black dude, probably about your height, like 6'2"-ish, right? Maybe 6'3", right? Definitely big dude, though. Like, I would say probably at least, like, 270, 280, right? He was a nurse, like, in a hospital and everything. Like, this man knew how to save lives and stuff, right? So I'm finding out about his life. How does he end up here, right? He was at a bar. Some dude started messing with his wife, right? He gets in the middle of it, you know, so they don't do that, right? Dude tried to swing a chair at them, right? Like a metal chair at them. He caught the chair, swung it back at him, hit him in the head with it. Dude falls down, goes into a coma. 3 weeks later, dies.
Oh, my God.
He goes to prison for, I think, 5 years. So he got off pretty easy. He got off on like a manslaughter charge or something like that, right? Because he was protecting his wife, right? And the dude was swinging the chair at him in the first place. So anyway, but he lost his license, obviously. Can't ever work in nursing again, obviously, right? He's got a felony on his thing. He's got to do probo for like 10 years, right? And the only job he can get is the same shitty-ass job that I have when I'm 18 years old, dropped out of high school, right? He went from having a rewarding intellectual career where he saves lives, helps people, right? His daughter was born when he was in prison, right? Missed the first 5 years of her life, right? And now he has to come out here and be lifting bags of fucking breading over his head because he got into one scrap. Now, again, that is one of those cases where I think it is justified, right? Yeah. Maybe don't hit him with the metal chair, like if you could avoid it, right? But at that moment, in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking about that, right?
Especially, it's killed to be killed.
Exactly. So protecting your wife, yeah, you get a pass, right? That's probably why he only got the manslaughter charge, and it's not something worse, right? But to be willing to put yourself in those situations just by talking shit to people for no reason. Like, you could be on one side or the other. You could be the guy with the coma who died or the guy who went to prison for 5 years for manslaughter. Do you want to do either one of those? Because me personally, I'd rather we just walk away from this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shit. I remember this was over 20 years ago. So I'm at my cousin's house early in the morning. Well, it depends how early you think early. It was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. I went to my cousin's house because, you know, we would play like PS2 all day and shit like that. You know, be bored with kids. So I went up there early. It's like 7, 8 o'clock. We're fucking both tired as hell. I just drugged myself over there. I was like, all right, ready to play games? He was like, yeah. My cousin just woke up. I woke him up. Then his big brother comes upstairs. And he has like a Band-Aid on his forehead. And a big ass Band-Aid on his forehead. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? So then like I said, me and my other cousin, his little brother, we're both drowsy as fuck. We're like barely awake. We're zombies right now.
Mm-hmm.
His older brother comes in with fucking live, awake, and shit like that. So he starts coming in demos. You got a fucking big head, and then he's just stoning me. I don't like how you laugh. No, I'm joking.
Because I'm looking at it right now. I can't help myself. Yo. Sorry.
But nah, it's cool. So he's just like, oh, you got a big head, this, that, and the third. Then he starts like gripping my head and starts like shaking me. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, you see, clearly I'm not bothering you. And he just like keeps going on. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to let it go. It's like, he clearly has time today. I don't. Then he just like keeps bothering. Then my little cousin, well, he's my older cousin, but his little brother is like, yo, leave Demos alone. Like, nigga, we just chilling. Shut the fuck up. I was like, shit, this nigga is totally live and wired up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, bro? All right, whatever. And he just keeps going. So that eventually I said, yo, I got to fight fire with fire. He keeps making fun of me, slapping my head and all that shit. I stoned him. Started stoning him like this. When I'm hitting him with jokes after jokes. He's looking at my cousin's not laughing. My little cousin, his little brother's laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh shit, this nigga funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember my cousin told me that his older brother just got in a bar fight.
Mm-hmm.
And the nigga hit him over the head with the bottle and broke it, and that's why he has a scar. So I remember he said that. And I said, yo, keep fucking with me. I'm going to call the nigga that broke the bottle over your head to come fuck you up.
Oh, shit.
Mind you, my cousin at that time was probably like 23, 25. He just saw red.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga charged at me and just started wailing.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it was like Donkey Kong beating on the ground.
Yeah.
He was just, it was monkey punches, it was elbows, it was anything he could have thought of.
Uh-huh.
That he could have, whatever he wanted to do to that guy, the anger that he had, he did it to me.
Yeah.
Thank God I knew how to block, make sure my tempo was everything good, you know, all that. After he was done, I was like, you know what? I did it to myself.
Yeah.
It's not, I really 100% do it to myself. I fought back to it, so yeah, somewhat
You took the bait.
Yeah.
You took the bait. That's it.
So I just ran home. I told my brother got mad. He was like, yo, I'm about to. Then I was like, nah, but you know, he just got in a bar fight. So he's probably not there. He's like, yo, bro, I was like, just let it be.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you know, I got cousins that's his age. My brother is like probably 3 years younger than him. I got cousins his age that don't mind upping up the score. I have cousins that want that.
Mm-hmm.
They want smoke. But I was like, nah, it's not. He's already fucked up.
Yeah.
Why add more to it?
He already got his.
Yeah. And it was in the bar fight that he was in. It wasn't really him that started it. It's just a brawl broke out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's anybody's hitting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's when I was young. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't go to bars. But then when I got older, I started realizing like, you can avoid a bar fight. It's
Yeah.
called running like a motherfucking unless it's. That's why I learned at a young age. Make sure you're near an exit.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first started working at the spot I was too far from any exits.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see me now?
Yep.
Right next to an exit.
Yep.
So,
Where security hang out too.
where security's at too.
Yeah.
This was before security came and shit. Like I ain't know back in I don't even shit. I forgot. We got newer security, but yeah, by exits, bro. So you always gotta be by an exit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And
If you're in a
not,
dangerous spot, sit facing the door so you see who's coming in, who's coming out.
that too.
Yep.
That too. Or if not, nigga, make sure you keep a bottle in your hand, just in case it needs to get broke, and you just hold it up, so
Yeah.
you could defend the person off, and you could leave.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
No, the other day someone asked me why do I carry a knife, and I told them, all right, it's for breaking down boxes, right? But
Uh-huh.
like, in reality, I view it as like it's kind of like people call the gun the peacekeeper. It's not a peacekeeper because you shoot it; it's because you show it, and then that keeps the peace, right? Same thing with a knife. Suddenly, like someone's about to punch you, you pull out a knife. Suddenly, they're not so interested in punching you. That doesn't mean I'm going to stab them.
yeah,
I'm just saying, yo, don't come close to me, otherwise you might get poked, right?
Yeah.
And if they come at you with a knife and you take out your knife, now it's suddenly okay. Who's going to end up with some more holes in them, right? Like suddenly they might start thinking maybe I should rob somebody else, right? Just make it as difficult as possible for them to think that it's going to be an easy pick off. You know what I mean?
yeah. And you know, it's the funny part because when I was younger, that's all I had on me. That's why they called me my DJ name is G Blade.
Yeah.
Because I always had knives on me.
That's a deep lore.
And I used to I had one of my cousins that worked at those whatever the fuck I was working at earlier. That nigga used to teach me how to flick knives, because some people might flick it out like this. He taught me.
Yep.
So, and it was the husky ones, the little ones. You know, some people gotta. No, he said there's a way you're supposed to do it like that.
You have to do it one-handed.
Yeah, I used to always do it one-handed.
Yeah, you have to.
So now if somebody was come up to me,
Yep.
they're like, oh, no, you good.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to master that shit. Then I started carrying the bigger knives. I was bigger than your palms. Then they was like, all right, you bugging too much. So I kept it.
Yeah. 3.5 inches in New Jersey. Yep.
So yeah, so that I always had a knife on me. I had multiple knives, because guns, if you throw a gun, they can see it and they get it. All right, you're going to jail. If they see a knife, they'll confiscate it.
Yeah.
And, you know, so and I grew up in a different era. Like, we were in the boxing, guns was here, but those are certain niggas that have guns. But you got to have your hands or a knife or a weapon. I was like, all right, a knife is cool enough.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's that peacemaker. Once you see a nigga flick it out, you're like, oh, this nigga's different.
Yeah.
Because some niggas might stutter and all that. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck that. What's up? So, yeah.
No, you gotta be ready to use it. If you have a tool, you have to be able to use it, right?
Ooh. I think I forgot it was some basketball player. His grandfather told him that. He said, if you pull it out, you got to use it. And I think that nigga went to jail. He killed somebody.
Oh, well, all right. You don't have to use. I said you have to know how to use it. All right. There's a big difference, brother. All right.
Hey, I'm just saying, his grandpa told him a little bit too wrong.
Yeah, he set him up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, damn, now the person sees the gun. Now they're going to snitch if you don't kill them. Or some other shit. So it's like, fuck it, I got to take you out. It sucks. So everything all depends on the degree of stuff. But yeah, man, try to just avoid situations best way as possible. You feel me? And that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. But yeah. You got anything? Shit, nigga, we just had a whole chill ass convo and shit, bro.
Yeah. Kept going. Yeah. Nah, I think I'm pretty much set. Yo, I need a beer. That's what I need for sure.
Shit, matter of fact, that's what we about to go do. I'm about to go get us some beers, bro.
All right, that sounds good, man.
Well, all right, man. Well, I appreciate y'all listening to another episode of Doing the Most. Art, I appreciate you so much for pulling up. Are you pulling up again a different time?
Yeah, I got to, man. I had a great time, man. Demos, thank you so much, brother.
I appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next time. All right, man. I see ya. Peace.
I be doing the most. Bad bitch all of my goals. Flooded both my wrists. Yeah, nigga, I do the most. Put some bread on your head, nigga. Killers gon' have a toast. I be doing the most. Yeah.